You're going to have that for just a little bit, and Denny. Good thing is he's not going to run the race tomorrow night and be ready for Saturday night, but he'll be sore even Saturday night.
And Dave Blaney will be taking over his ride in the Nationwide Series in that number 10 car. That's going to be a great race for him, and he's got an opportunity now to win another race here.
Dave Blaney won this race here in the Nationwide car back in October of 2006, led the final 5 laps, had to outrun Matt Kenseth on a green-white checker, so Blaney back in a very good race car. Oh, by the way, yeah, it was the Braun team that won here in May in the NASCAR Nationwide Series with Kyle Busch driving the car. Rain has washed out qualifying. The NASCAR Nationwide NASCAR Sprint Cup drivers will start by points on Saturday night. It'll be, of course, Jimmy Johnson and Carl Edwards leading him down. Coming up next, Dale Jr. Shifting Gears, presented by the National Guard. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Again, coverage beginning here tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern Time with NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying. Come back and join us at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
We keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things. Because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. Walt Disney.
After a year of intense negotiations and intense effort on behalf of Dale Earnhardt Incorporated and JR Motorsports, we decided that it's time for us to move on and seek other opportunities to drive for a new team in 2008.
Junior did announce he is leaving DEI, the company his father built.
You've seen Dale Jr. as a driver. Well, this is Dale Jr. as a businessman and as a team owner and as a mentor to young and up-and-coming driver.
My new boss, Mr. Rick Hendrick. I don't know if there was any doubt going into my mind that I needed to make a change.
This whole change is probably as big of a story as the death of my dad.
If I doubted it, I would have drove myself crazy. Laying in bed at night asking myself questions about it.
The struggle for him was about that acceptance from everybody.
It is a media frenzy. All the media going after him.
I was shocked. The whole thing was unreal.
Dale Jr. is still Dale Jr. And so what you were attracted to and what you followed and supported and rooted for is still, at its heart and soul and core, still the same.
Money is not really the issue. There's some things that you can't get with money. I want to go somewhere and really make some things happen for somebody and have that appreciation go back and forth there. I knew what my decisions were throughout the whole thing, and I stuck with them, and I didn't even second guess myself.
And now, Shifting Gears, presented by the National Guard. Previously on Shifting Gears, Dale Earnhardt Jr. stares down the biggest decision of his personal and professional life.
This whole change is probably as big of a story as the death of my dad.
Leaving the team his father founded to join Hendrick Motorsports. The result was a media and fan frenzy like NASCAR had never seen. And a behind-the-scenes scramble to put together the team, sponsors, pick a number, even print the t-shirts. But now it's time for talk to shift into action, to honor the past, but move forward into the future. Pay tribute to family, friends, and a father who paved the path to stardom. But most important, it's time to finally get that 88 car out on the racetrack. The time has come for Shifting Gears.
There's all these little things that sort of just either fell into place or we played our cards right and won the game of poker on every hand, and that's basically what it felt like the entire time.
It's hard for any teams to really thrive right now because of how strong the Hendrick teams are.
The car, the team, everything was right there in front of me, and it was just really overwhelming that I was standing in that position, and I didn't know whether I would always know what to do or what to say or how to act. And you know, Rick says, just be yourself.
I know as a driver, I want to perform for someone.
Last year really tested my patience and my ability to focus. My ability, it really tested me as to not getting frustrated, not getting angry, and not losing focus.
You've left the negative and gone to the positive. And negative, what's a battery have? It has negative and positive. So if he can hook that positive with that negative, he's going to have a lot of energy and he's going to win a lot of races. But if he doesn't, he's going to short circuit and people are going to come down on him pretty hard.
You know, the destination's not all that important. It's the journey there and back.
I catch myself, you know, trying to understand like how it all happened. If you'd have told me this is all going to happen a year and a half, 2 years ago, I'd have never believed it.
When you're driving a race car at 190 miles an hour, focus is very important. What motivates me is, number one, the fans probably do a lot. You know, when you show up to a place that's got a big crowd and you get a lot of energy and excitement out of that crowd, it really makes the race much more of a spectacle, so that's hugely motivating. But other than that, it's just to be the best, to have something that you're good at, to have something that you're challenging others, and being on top.
Coming up on Shifting Gears with Dale Jr., the future comes into focus. Dale finally allows himself to smile. Dale looks back to help him push forward, from the bonds of family and friends to the legacy of his father and his team. Dale's new teammates speak out about NASCAR's new dream team and what they must do to keep it from becoming a nightmare. And the National Guard Chevy finally makes the move from concept car to race car, hitting the track for its first test laps at Daytona.
The goals that we kind of had for this test, we met them, and I think the guys all got along real good, and I think everybody's really relieved, you know, to kind of have some work together and kind of know what working around each other is going to be like.
The future is up ahead, and we're headed there on Shifting Gears. Shifting Gears is presented by the National Guard. Explore your path to honor. Visit www.1800GoGuard.com. AMP Energy, proud to be the energy behind Dale Jr. and the number 88 team. Brought to you by Wrangler Jeans Company, a new generation of Wrangler, and the official jeans of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
DNA is that's just bananas. Actually, like a living organism. It's DNA in a video game. Woo! It's like a computer that can talk and learn and stuff. It's crazy, isn't it? Oh, man. It automatically tracks the stats of the players, the injuries, the hot streaks. I don't know who thought about it, but he was a genius, man. It updates every day. Like, that's bananas, man.
Rated E for everyone.
Now $1.99.
Signing up for digital phone service through your cable provider? Do you really think bundling with your cable company is saving you money? You've been bundling.
It's time for Vonage.
When you bundle, that low promotional rate expires and your bill goes up. With Vonage, your rate starts low and stays low. Sign up now with Vonage and get 1 month free. Enjoy clear digital phone sound quality using your high-speed internet connection. Get Vonage, the #1 rated digital phone service.
Call 1-877-4Vonage or go online today.
As Dale Earnhardt Jr. dealt with his decision to make a career change, the strain was obvious. But since the moment that decision was final, he's been all smiles. Happy with the move, the future, and everyone around him seems happy as well.
I talked to him a little bit when it first went down, and I mean, it appeared to be pretty happy. I don't know why he wouldn't be, you know.
The struggle for him was really about that acceptance from everybody, and was this decision, were people going to accept this decision? Who wasn't going to accept it? And what was that going to do to him as a person? And could he live with that, you know? And could he still be friends with people that he was walking away from. You know, the guys on his crew at DEI and the friends that he had at DEI and things like that. Those were the really big questions for him.
Dale Jr. felt like he was DEI. You know, he felt like he had 350 people on his shoulders. If he didn't run well, the company suffered for it. You know, I think over here he knows that he's just a piece of the puzzle. If he just does his job, he's here. You know, he's not carrying the whole load. There's 4 drivers here carrying the load. So I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's taken him a while to get over that. But I'm sure it's going to be a big load off of him.
He knew for his career, for his self, what the right decision was. But it was, you know, everybody else's acceptance of that decision that really weighed on him, and really probably was the internal struggle for what, was that going to be the right thing to do?
To be working with Rick is a good relationship for me. It's healthy for me. Where my company is right now is real healthy for me and a good feeling for me.
Success is really just about being happy, especially for athletes and entertainers and all who have all this pressure on them for what is success. Everybody that is around Dale on a more of a daily or weekly basis sees a huge change in his personality and just how more open he is and how much more happier he is and more talkative he is, and he's smiling more, and you know, in general, he's just a happier person because so many of those emotions are past of the decision of what he's had to do.
I think a lot of weight's off of his shoulders. The Busch deal that we did together is coming along great. The cars are running good. They look good. He's happy. It's what he wants in life, and you know, I'm excited for him.
For Dale, acceptance is what keeps him moving forward. Whether that's acceptance from the fans or acceptance from his car owner, or acceptance from his teammates or his friends or whatever it is, you know, it's about that pat on the back and you're doing a good job and, you know, forge forward because what you're doing is working. And that kind of stems from the way our dad raised us. You know, Dale was always looking for that from my dad, and he still looks for that.
Well, I thought it was going to be good, but it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And I love working with him. The guys in the organization love working with him because he just wants to win. He wants to race, and that's his primary goal. And so we're really excited.
He can just show up and drive. I mean, obviously it'll be his team, and he's responsible for a lot of stuff. But the day-to-day worries about the business, which I don't know how involved he was in that. In DEI, I don't think he was real involved in that. But the day-to-day worries about the business continuing on and what's going to happen to it, he doesn't have to worry about that. I mean, Teresa and whoever has those have those worries over there, and Rick takes care of that at his place. He can show up and worry about winning races and know that he's got all good stuff. Not that he didn't have good stuff over there, but he's got everything he needs.
You know, you got a vision where you want to be in 10 years, and I feel like I'm in a better spot to achieve those things now, where before there was just a chance to get it done. Now I feel like I got a good, solid opportunity to make it happen.
Hendrick Motorsports, I believe, is the best team out there, not only because of their performance on the track, but the way that Rick treats his employees and the positive attitudes that surround that. And I think that's one thing that I think Junior is well aware of. But as you get more involved in it and you see, you know, how people feed off of Rick and where that takes things, it's just it's an unbelievable thing. And I think he's going to be probably a little bit surprised. He knows that direction, but I think he's going to be surprised at how well it works.
I think if Dale is enjoying himself and he's happy-go-lucky next year and he's winning races, that'll definitely translate to success at him for personally, and continue to motivate him. And I think that's how it can be defined.
He's back. And I think it'll be just really simple. You know, Dale Jr.'s back.
Gone are the days of simply wearing a sponsor's hat and picking up a check. In today's NASCAR, drivers are 24-hour-a-day billboards, the highest profile spokesman for the world's highest profile corporations, which means racers must learn to be actors.
We're doing something every day. And even if it's a photo shoot or commercial, I look forward to it. Filming a photo shoot with Chevrolet. This will be probably like a 30-second spot. I gotta memorize it, eh? Too loud over there. Back away. Got another one of these tomorrow. They give a freeze it. That's about it. Let's just roll this. Roll this. Great. Hear that? Sound great.
Paid by having to watch, because I think you're gonna make a lot.
Up next on Shifting Gears, MTV Cribs comes knocking, and life imitates art, cyber style. Shifting Gears is presented by the National Guard. Explore your path to honor. Visit www.1800GoGuard.com. Amp Energy, proud to be the energy behind Dale Jr. and the number 88 team.
Can you say freetriplescore.com 3 times fast?
Freetriplescore.com, freetriplescore.com.
Freetriplescore.com, freetriplescore.com.
What's freetriplescore.com?
Freetriplescore.com, freetriplescore.com. Why is freetriplescore.com the best place to go get my credit score?
Freetriplescore.com gives you all 3 credit reports and scores from the 3 top bureaus. And best of all, they're free when you try Privacy Matters 1, 2, 3.
Really get all 3 for free?
Why do I need to check all 3 of my credit reports and scores?
One credit report doesn't tell you the whole story.
You could have good credit on one report, and on the other 2, you could have harmful information that could keep you from getting a loan, and in some cases, keep you from getting a job.
Not knowing your credit score could be a big mistake.
I didn't know my credit score could keep me from getting a job.
Lenders look at all 3 credit reports, shouldn't I?
3 really is better than 1.
Where can I get all 3?
Where can I get all 3?
Where can I get all 3? Log on to freetriplescore.com where you can get 3 for free.
Freetriplescore.com.
Every Tuesday night, the countdown to the final table continues. And the stakes are even higher for the most coveted jewel in the game. Now, only 79 players will survive on poker's biggest stage as Phil Hellmuth and some of the game's biggest stars look to move one step closer to the final table. The World Series of Poker main event at an all-new time, Tuesday at 9 on ESPN.
Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing to that deer? That doesn't look right.
Dale's love of music influences the National Guard to bring 2 of the biggest names in America together, Junior and the rock band 3 Doors Down.
You know what, just out here to support Dale and be out here and be a part of this, be a part of what's going on today. They approached us, I guess it's been, I suppose, about 6 months back, and asked us to write a song for the Guard, and we jumped at the chance. We were really psyched about doing it, and the theme of what they wanted the lyrics to be about, and the lyrics just kind of grew from there, and it grew into a song showing what the Guard is and what they're about and what they do here at home, and how they live their citizen lives and how they live their soldier lives, and you know, and how what their impact is overseas, but also it really focused on the home front as well.
Beyond the boundaries of your city's lights, stand the heroes waiting for your cries. So many times you did not bring this on yourself. When that moment finally comes, I'll be there to help. On that day when you need your brothers and sisters to care, I'll be right here. Citizen soldiers holding the light for the ones that we guide from the dark of despair. Standing on guard for the ones that we shelter.
The Earnhardts are beloved because no matter how much success they have, they never lose touch with their blue-collar, hard-working roots. It's a big reason why Dale Jr. was adamant about teaming with the National Guard and about being much more than just a spokesperson.
I just got some friends over there. I just sent some stuff to them, but it's just, I mean, it's, you know, if I don't want to give everybody the wrong idea, you know what I mean? It's just a buddy of mine went over there. I was like, hey, you know, what you got? You know, Lee. We sent him them iPods. I just seen some iPods and some Mountain Dew and some Amp and some T-shirts. He said he gave this T-shirt to one of these little Iraqi kids, and then 10 other Iraqi kids came over and attacked him for it, and he whooped them all. And said he saw the boy wearing the shirt the other day. I talked to him on instant message, and it's just weird as hell for me to be sitting in my house in Mooresville, North Carolina, and my buddy is sitting there answering my question, or I'm answering his, and he's sitting in an abandoned power plant in the middle of Iraq. I just can't get over that. I just cannot get over that. I don't know what it is. That's just a heavy, heavy feeling, man. But he said they, you know, some of them guys, they go over there. I would imagine, I don't know what it's like to be in the military, but I would imagine that maybe just as anything else you do, if you're going somewhere, packing or planning a trip, you get there and you say, damn, I should have brought such and such. I didn't know it was going to be like this. Maybe if I should have brought this or that. You know, some comforts from home that you normally want, that you didn't take. But now it's, you know, you get there and you find it's the perfect situation for it or whatever. And I figured some of them guys might not have brought MP3 players. Some of them might not have them or want them or not know what the hell it is. So I got some iPods and uploaded all my music on them and sent 5 of them over there, just 5 though. But we sent a lot of Amp, Mountain Dew, and sunglasses. They need sunglasses with ballistic lenses. And apparently he said the ones that the military give them aren't their favorite. So me and my buddy Boris Said, who owns part of Spy, put together a package to send over there to them. The National Guard is an interesting service or branch of the military because like the Three Doors Down song, Citizen Soldier, it's basically, you know, could be your neighbor, could be, you know, just any guy in town, regular job that gets called into service or gets called to, you know, go support the country, whether it be abroad or with a natural disaster here at home or any kind of situation they feel like they might need their help. I can't imagine having to do that, having to give up everything you got here to go over there and do that. Don't look at that, that's probably terrible. You know, I'm gonna get all kinds of shit from all these professional pool players. Dude, how you racked them balls was terrible.
Coming up on Shifting Gears, a look at NASCAR's version of the Four Horsemen, the new lineup at Hendrick Motorsports. Shifting Gears is presented by the National Guard. Explore your path to honor. Visit www.1800GoGuard.com.
I got $583 from cashforgold.com. All I did was look through my drawer full of jewelry that I never wear.
Turn your unwanted or broken jewelry, gold, silver, platinum, rings, chains, and bracelets into cold hard cash from cashforgold.com.
I had no idea my gold jewelry was worth so much money.
With gold, silver, and platinum at their highest value in decades, cashforgold.com is able to give you top dollar for your unwanted jewelry. And because we own our refinery, we can cut out the middleman, which means more cash in your pocket.
I sent in my diamond wedding band from my first marriage and got money the very next day.
Just call the number below and ask for your free, prepaid, insured refiner's return pack. Fill the envelope with your unwanted or broken gold, silver, and platinum jewelry and mail it to our processing center. A safe, reliable transaction with satisfaction guaranteed.
Call 1-800-970-6985. Call now.
B is for the beast of the Southeast. So you'd best buckle up, because the balance of power in the chase for the Sprint Cup will go back and forth until the bitter end. This week, with points leader Jimmy Johnson bearing down, chase drivers look to bounce back after the big one in Bama. What else could B be but the beast of the Southeast? The Bank of America 500 at Charlotte, Saturday night at 7 Eastern on ABC.
Here at Lowe's Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying was scheduled but has been washed away for the 8th time this year, so they will line up the field by point standings. We will have other coverage coming your way throughout the weekend, beginning with NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying. On Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, NASCAR Sprint Cup Happy Hour at 6:30, Nationwide Series race at 7:30 Eastern. NASCAR Now, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and of course, live flag-to-flag coverage of the Bank of America 500 on ABC Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Welcome back to Shifting Gears with Dale Earnhardt Jr., presented by the National Guard. Dale Jr.'s move to Hendrick Motorsports has been hailed as the formation of NASCAR's dream team. The sport's most popular star, the two-time defending champion, the active career wins leader, and a descendant of American racing royalty. But Hendrick has been here before. Three-time champ Darrell Waltrip was paired with an all-star crew of mechanics and teammates.
I had a dream team with Darrell Waltrip, and it wasn't too much of a dream, good dream. We got it squared away, and I think what we learned in that situation was that you sometimes just can't get superstars and put them together and make it work.
It became known as the Dream Team, and it wasn't known as the Dream Team for long. It became like a nightmare for all of us.
The team is what you make it, you know, and I have been extremely impressed with Dale Jr.'s attitude, commitment, drive, wanting to be successful. And that's what it takes when you're that committed to want to come in when you're not supposed to be here, to spend time with your teammates, to spend time with your guys.
I went down there to see my teammates test in Daytona. I did want to see my teammates and see the environment that they worked in, how they worked, what the mood was like, because I could never get up close to it before because I wasn't on their team. So I could stand in their garage, watch them work, understand that's how they work. Understand that's the temperament of the situation, and be prepared, be better prepared.
He's got a really strong commitment to coming out of the gate and running well, and I don't foresee any problem at all. I think it's going to be seamless, and I know we'll have some ups and downs, but what we've got to do is we've just got to get a little bit better every week, and we've got to continue to work together, and then we'll be competitive. And that's all we can ask for.
Coming there now, and we've had conversations. I guess the things that's helped me is me and them have talked. And the way they talk and the way I talk, the way we're treating each other, I don't feel competition. I feel like we're working together as a team.
I think when you talk about a dream team, you're not talking about one team at Hendrick. You're talking about a whole bunch of teams. I mean, you got the 3 J's, and then you got Casey. So, I mean, that's a great lineup.
The fact that people are calling it a dream team, in a way it is. I mean, you got 3 guys that, obviously Junior, the most popular guy, Jimmy and Jeff, they've had so much success.
Dream team. I used to be part of the Young Guns. That's about as bad as being part of a dream team. You know what I mean? No, dream team. Well, okay. Well, all right. The dream team is the team that we take to the Olympics and whoop everybody's ass in basketball.
I don't know if it's the dream team, but it's definitely a good place to be, and there's a lot of great people surrounding it.
It's flattering to hear the comments, but it's up to all 4 of us drivers and our teams to get out there and make this the team that everybody thinks it can be. And I feel we have the tools to do it. I feel we have the personnel to do it, and now it's just time to get to work.
I look at our lineup, it's pretty impressive, and I look at the success of Hendrick Motorsports, especially over the last few years, and to have the type of seasons that we've had, and then add Dale Earnhardt Jr. Into that mix, it's a heck of a lineup, and that can either make you stronger or it can tear you apart. So we're going to have to do a lot of work to make sure that we're all getting what we need. As teams, as individuals, but that we're working together to make each of us better as well.
It's like the New York Yankees or Red Sox. I mean, you got everything here. You got the best players and just making it happen. I mean, that's the biggest thing is we can all sit here and say, all right, we got the 4 greatest drivers, but we definitely got to do our part and make it put on paper. When people ask me,
and my teammates both to explain what we think of each other. Everybody's just so curious really to know what I think about my teammates and what they think about me. And so they'll ask us those questions, and it's really uncomfortable because nobody likes talking about each other, you know. And we're all competitors, you know. You don't want to tell somebody, yeah, man, you know, Matt Kenseth drives good because of such and such, or, you know, we just don't want to talk about each other like that. Me and Matt are great friends. We got a lot of respect for each other. We don't go in the media bragging on each other. And me and my teammates won't either, you know. I mean, we'll tell each other when we've done a good job, and we'll give credit where it's due, but it's just weird, you know. It's just the type of thing men don't do, you know. Men don't brag on other men, you know. It's just uncomfortable. We're too macho. But maybe we should let it go a little bit, but not happening.
In NASCAR, teammates don't have to be fast friends. They just have to be fast. To set aside differences, friendship is merely a bonus.
Here we go. He's going to move him. He's going to move him. He's going to move him.
Here comes Gordon. He's got the inside. They touch once, twice. Drag race. Jimmy Johnson.
Whoa! What a race by teammates. That was fantastic. I bet Jeff Gordon isn't terribly happy either.
I don't really think that you have to gel with everybody in order to be successful.
I've been pissed at Jeff. I've been pissed at, Stewart. I've been pissed at Junior. I've been pissed at a lot of guys. And at the same time, they've all been pissed back at me. I mean, it's just part of racing.
Jimmy Johnson and Jeff at Martinsville are a perfect example of two teammates racing each other. You don't wreck your teammate because you got to live with him. But you don't wreck your neighbor either because you got to live with him too.
I'll tell you this, you see Jimmy and Jeff beat doors trying to win races at Martinsville, that's going to happen. That's what you do. You're a race car driver. You go out there to win.
What happens on the track, sometimes things don't go just exactly like you want. They should run good. There's no reason to think they won't. What we got to remember is there's a whole lot of teams that run good. It's not like you're going to win every race. But I think they'll be fine.
I think as a company, that's a dream team as a company, but I don't think I'd put that label on. It could be Chad and Jimmy, or it could be Steve and Jeff, or it could be Tony Jr. and Dale.
When you're not on the racetrack and when you're building up and preparing for the race, your teammates and you're working together so everybody can have the best finish possible.
Now, I'd be careful with that dream team thing.
Not so long ago, the idea of an Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon working together would have caused a grandstand brawl. In the late 1990s, Jeff Gordon became the sport's most successful driver, and his biggest rival was Dale Sr. Since then, he's added 4 championships and more than 80 wins, passing Sr. on the all-time wins list in 2007. Johnson arrived in 2001 as Gordon's hand-picked protege, and in 2007 joined his mentor as one of NASCAR's rare back-to-back Cup champions. Last season also brought Casey Mears to the Hendrick stable. With the addition of Dale Jr., it's already being called the most fearsome foursome in NASCAR history. Coming up on Shifting Gears with Dale Jr. In a sport where last names are more famous than firsts, it's no surprise that the Hendrick and Earnhardt families have worked together before.
This door's wide open now. It's gonna happen, whether you like it or not.
4 judges ignored 4 million voters and imposed same-sex marriage on California. It's no longer about tolerance. Acceptance of gay marriage is now mandatory.
That changes a lot of things. People sued over personal beliefs. Churches could lose their tax exemption. Gay marriage taught in public schools.
We don't have to accept this.
Whether you like it or not.
Yes on 8.
I like that he has a full head of hair.
She reminds me of my English teacher.
She has a really strong aura.
Hair is coiffed all the time.
I think he's hot.
Tune to Elections 08 On Demand for all the information you need on interests, issues, facts, and candidates. Elections 08 On Demand. Vote smart.
Press 890 on your digital remote or from your Channel 1 on-demand menu. Select News and World, then Elections 08.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying was scheduled but has been washed away for the 8th time this year, so they will line up the field by point standings. We will have other coverage coming your way throughout the weekend, beginning with NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying. On Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, NASCAR Sprint Cup Happy Hour at 6:30. Nationwide Series race at 7:30 Eastern. NASCAR Now, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, live flag-to-flag coverage of the Bank of America 500 on ABC Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Welcome back to Shifting Gears with Dale Earnhardt Jr., presented by the National Guard. It began 3 decades ago with Dale's grandfather, Robert G.
Our grandfather, Robert G., worked for Mr. Hendrick for quite some time.
My granddaddy Robert was a famed body man in the NASCAR series for 30 years.
My granddaddy adored Rick Hendrick, and everything that he talked about and did was about Rick Hendrick.
My granddad worked for me, and he and I were friends from the same small town.
Rick tells a story about him putting a hood scoop on his Chevelle when he was 16 or 17, and that's how they met. He was really proud of his employment and his involvement at Hendricks, and that was always apparent to me.
Even before actually working at Hendrick Motorsports, my grandfather had cars that my dad raced when he was up and coming, and he and Mr. Hendrick owned a car together that my dad raced and won with at Charlotte.
The first car Rick ever sponsored was my granddaddy's dirt late model, running over at Metrolina and Concord. And then the first car that Rick owned, he co-owned with my granddaddy Robert in the Busch Series. My dad drove it and won in Daytona in 1982 or 1983, one of them years.
My dad and Rick were friends throughout his career and his life. Daddy helped Rick when Rick got into sport.
Dale Sr. and I came close several times. In the very beginning, I had no reputation in the business. I was a brand new guy, brand new team, not knowing we'd have any success. He looked hard at driving for me the first time. We had a great relationship and a lot of respect for each other, and we were good friends.
When my granddaddy got sick with his strokes, I got to know Mr. Hendrick in a lot more personal way, and he came to the hospital. I was there about every day with my grandfather.
Took care of him till he died, and Rick does that for a lot of people. He just happened to do it for my granddaddy.
I think back to that, and it's just really neat. I mean, because he's a man that throughout my family, whether it was my dad or my grandfather, was somebody to be respected.
I think Rick's heritage of the sport, and particularly his relationships with his grandfather, with his father, are very important to Dale Jr. too.
I think Rick also had a relationship with Dale Sr., helped out at different times, and Dale Jr. was aware of that. I just think he saw the compassion.
I met Rick when I was 15 in Topeka, Kansas at an ARCA race.
I was driving, and Kenny Schrader and I were together, and he was, I think, 14 years old, and Junior and I were talking. He said, I'm going to drive for you one day, and I said, okay, well, let's sign a contract now. So we signed a contract on a napkin.
I figured even if it was a joke, I better sign it because it might come in handy one day.
I bumped into him down in Myrtle Beach when he was driving a Busch car, and we were standing in the driver's meeting together, and I said, you remember you signed the contract with me? And he said, I thought you forgot that. And I said, no, I didn't forget it. I said, I was just scared of your daddy because I wasn't going to try to enforce it. He said, but if you give everybody on my team a Corvette, I'll come over and drive for you. And so we just were talking. And then my son Ricky was good friends with Dale. And he told me one day, he said, this is going to happen one day. And I said, that'll never happen. He'll never leave DEI.
Obviously, what I'd like to see is Junior over there driving and his daddy still in the office, but that's not the case.
Dale lost his dad, Rick lost his son, and I know Rick would never say, well, Dale could never take the place of Ricky, but there is a bond there that I think was important as well.
He's just a gracious, very understanding, very passionate. Let's just look at the goal and let's do whatever it takes to get to it, kind of guy.
Dale Sr. always had as it relates to Dale Jr., I think he always wanted what was best for him.
If Dale Jr. had gone to his dad and said, Dad, you're not giving me what I need. This company is not providing, we're not keeping up, we don't have the technology, we're behind in so many places, you're not giving me what I need, and I want to go drive for Rick Hendrick. And I guarantee you Dale would have looked him in the eye and said, look, if I'm not giving you what you need, you go make your best deal.
His dad was about winning. His dad was driven to win races and win championships like nobody I've ever seen. And I think his dad would say, you've got to do what you've got to do to put yourself in position to win championships and win races.
As much history as there are in names, there is even more in numbers. And the number 88 has been in stock car racing since the beginning.
The number we're going to use next year will be number 88. I wanted the 88, and Robert Yates had the 88. In respect to Robert, I wanted to know whether he had a problem with that, because that was a number that he kind of parked.
We were really lucky, I think, to be able to get the 88. And Robert was he's pretty welcoming to that idea.
Robert was faced with the situation, you know, when you have numbers and you're not using them, sooner or later somebody could make you either use it or lose it. And I think Robert felt more connected to the 28 than he did the 88, and so it made sense for him to let them have 88 and he'd go back to running the 28 number again.
You know, it's awesome that he's excited about that as I am. You know, he's been very nice about it and everything, and you hope that people would have that kind of respect if they're going to drive a number that you've made famous. You know, you hope people would respect what you did with it and honor where you took it. And so that's a great feeling.
Of course, when I drove the 88, that was the Dyguard car. And then we had the Gatorade. Gatorade come on board, and they liked the number and made a really nice paint job, you know, with the tricked up 8s and the big Gatorade and the lightning bolt. That was a cool looking car.
Having been a big fan of the car that Darrell and Rusty and Ricky Rudd drove, the 88 from the early 80s, Bobby Allison drove it. That car was, you know, a prominent car at that time and in that era.
You know, that number resonates with our family. And again, it's got to be meaningful to Dale. He's all about the back end story and nostalgic and really what something represents, so that he can grasp a hold of it and make it his own. And that was what was important about coming up with the car number, is something that he could wrap his arms around.
Worked out good for everybody. Teresa got to keep 8. Dale Jr. got 2 8s, and Robert got 28. So it's all good in 08.
Coming up on Shifting Gears with Dale Jr. The bond of blood is the power that keeps Dale Jr. running and racing. And the Earnhardts go old school with a trip back to school.
And you can't be filming my shots that I'm missing.
No, if you don't make them.
Stay off the table.
Shifting Gears is presented by the National Guard. Explore your path to honor. Visit www.1800GoGuard.com.
It's very rare. The internet says there's 10 of them left.
Let's ask our experts.
Looks like a cat.
Looks like a panther.
Speaking of the Panthers, what do we like in the NFC South this year?
Well, historically, the bottom team one year wins it the next.
That's great news for the Falcons.
Tune into the best team in football. Sunday NFL Countdown presented by IBM, Sundays at 11.
This is not the Vietnam War you've read about. This is not the war you've seen. This is Vietnam the way it really happened. Gripping and brutal, courageous and shocking, real and unvarnished. See it for the first time ever in the razor-sharp clarity of DVD. It's Vietnam, an American history, the complete visual record of the war on DVD. You'll see rare footage shot on once secret missions, filmed in the heat of combat and behind enemy lines. You'll finally get the whole picture, from Tonkin Gulf to the fall of Saigon. Operation Rolling Thunder, the siege of Quezon, the Tet Offensive, This is Vietnam without the bias, without the spin, digitally remastered on crystal clear DVD. Get Vietnam, An American History on 3 DVDs for just $59.99. But wait, call with your credit card and you'll get an extra $20 off. That's nearly 8 hours of gripping footage for just $39.99. And that's not all. Call in the next 10 minutes and get free shipping and handling, an additional savings of nearly $10. From Air Cavalry to Jungle Patrol, from the Ho Chi Minh Trail to the Hanoi Hilton. This is no Hollywood movie. This is the real thing. Newsweek hailed it as riveting and powerful. The New York Times said it may change opinions about the war. Call now to get Vietnam, An American History, 460 gripping minutes on 3 DVDs for just $39.99. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll ship it for free. This is their story. This is our story. Call now for Vietnam, An American History on DVD.
Call 1-800-503-3198 to order Vietnam, An American History on 3 DVDs for $39.99 and receive free shipping when you use your credit card, or order online at timelife.com/Vietnam.
Here at Lowe's Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying was scheduled but has been washed away for the 8th time this year, so they will line up the field by point standings. We will have other coverage coming your way throughout the weekend, beginning with NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying. On Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, NASCAR Sprint Cup Happy Hour at 6:30, Nationwide Series race at 7:30 Eastern. NASCAR Now, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and of course, live flag-to-flag coverage of the Bank of America 500 on ABC Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Behind the man is always a woman, and the woman behind Dale is his older sister, Kelly.
There's 2 years between Dale and I, and while he was growing up, he was always kind of the littler guy than everybody his age, and he was fair-skinned, little blonde, running around, and so he always just seemed like he needed a little extra coaching and a little extra looking after and whatnot.
My sister, you know, she probably means everything to me, I think, because I rely on her, depend on her so much for my professional life. I rely on her and depend on her a lot for my, you know, for personal stuff, questions about girls, and, you know, just how to deal with certain issues. She's grown up and she's run into a lot of things, being a couple years older than me, that I haven't yet.
We've really stayed close. I think a lot of that's due to the fact of our parents splitting up early, and our dad being gone and racing and being successful. We kind of were at the house with, you know, different caretakers and whatnot, just looking out for each other. And I had to do more looking out for him than he did for me when we were younger. And that bond, so we just kind of have stayed that way, and that's kind of a tribute to our closeness there.
You know, she helps or tells you how she dealt with something, or handled a situation, or handled a problem with a friend, or, you know, a relationship or whatever. So she does that for me a lot. Every time I need it, you know, whenever I need it, she's the one I go to.
Their relationship together, they're probably as connected as any sister and brother I know. They've always had to rely on one another, and I guess it is what has made the bond that they have today. And as a mother, that takes a lot off of me, because when the time comes I'm not here, I know they'll always have each other. It's usually something you try to tell your kids when they're young and they're fighting. One day you're just going to have each other, so that's something that I don't have to worry about. I know they'll always look out for one another.
Well, I think obviously after our dad's death was a time for Dale when I felt like, you know, I kind of needed to step up and help guide his decisions and be there kind of as a sounding board, I guess.
Kelly is an actor. She's proactive. She goes out and gets things done. I'm not even so sure that Junior would have left DEI if it hadn't been for Kelly putting things together so he could.
My deal was just starting to get going with the racing and the Busch Series winning championships. She just called me one day and said, "You're gonna need some help." And I said, "Sure, you know, hell, I'm pretty open to hearing anybody's advice. I didn't know nothing about financials or taxes or what the hell to do with all that money. So she took a 50% now, and I say 50, I mean 50. She took a 50% pay cut to come work for me. She's making her original salary plus these days, but when she first came, she just did it because she wanted to. She did it because the same reason she helped me. She'd give me lunch money when I'd spend it on candy before lunch, you know, at school. So she's always helped me like that.
You know, it's really cool now to be able just to be a part of his world and all that he has going on. Really just to share in his success and see him really become a success and be a confident man and, you know, all the things that he's accomplished in his career. That's really payback enough for me.
She's real special to him and means a lot to him, and you just can't describe it. You know, it's hard to say, but yeah, I think Kelly's the #1 thing in his life.
Behind every successful man, there's a woman. And who do you think that woman would be in his life?
As Junior's history continues to play a vital role in his future, Dale and Kelly race back to Oak Ridge Military Academy, where they're now looking after the place that once looked after them.
We were at a Christian school and Dale, you know, didn't like to follow the rules there, so they sent him to military school.
I wasn't a handful, I wasn't mean, I wasn't tearing up stuff. I just didn't listen. I listened to nobody. When you first get there, you think, how can this place be effective? How does it improve anybody? How does it make kids understand, you know, anything growing up, the morals and values of being an adult? It does. I don't know how. It just does.
It's really good to see you.
Yeah, thanks. Good to see you. I was going to come back. I just didn't know when. We're hoping before I graduated, I might come back.
You go down through the companies of kids in the school there when they lined up for formation, and it was like, you know, I don't know, 5 foot tall, 5 foot tall, 4 foot tall. There's Dale. I mean, he was just the littlest of all.
The rifle was as tall as he was, so we had to come up with a different rifle for him. Remember, we took one of the rifle team rifles, which was shorter, and let him march in the parade with.
I went because I had to. I didn't have a choice. My sister went 2 months later because she missed me, so she says. Which I don't know if that's. I believe I've heard, you know, I believe a lot of stuff she says, but I've heard a lot of bullshit too. I don't know anybody goes to military school because they miss somebody. Here I am. I'm there. Sad because I'm away from home, missing home, wanting to be home. Where's my toys, you know, where's my friends, where's my buddies, where's my BB gun? And here she is coming in and looking at it as if she's already, you know, she's starting her first semester in college. She's enjoying interacting with everybody there. She has no worry about being away from home or family or friends or dad or anybody. You know, she was living on her own already, you know. It was weird, but, you know, that's how she was.
Up there, I had to keep a special eye on him. People like to pick on him and all that kind of stuff. And of course, he didn't do anything to help himself stay out of trouble.
Major Barbera lived right there.
The military school did so much for me that I almost went back and graduated, and I wanted to go back and graduate. That's what I should have done. I regret not doing that. But they did so much for me and my sister, and that helped me not end up on drugs or end up in a, you know, in a bar fight every week, or, you know, I'd be worthless without it. So I gave them some worth, gave them some money. I invested a bunch of money into some of the buildings to help rebuild the buildings and help improve some of the facilities.
A lot of the way this place looks, it was all but closed down a little over a year ago, Dale, and that's the truth. If it wasn't for you and Kelly, it'd still be closed down.
Really? I went back and they gave me the diploma, and I really appreciated that, but I didn't earn. I was only there for a year and a half.
We'll count you in the class of 2007.
All right. All right.
We can come back for that.
Congratulations. Job well done.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Getting a diploma was cool, but you know, that stuff was secondary to helping the school, putting in the floor in the gym, and all the things you can do to help, man. You know, hell, that diploma's all right, but that, you know, that don't matter. I don't need that diploma to know how much that school was worth to me.
even took a moment to visit his old room, and it brought back memories of his youth.
So Dale, was yours the same? Where was your closet?
One was here.
Yeah.
We had a bunk bed here. One was here. One was there. 2 desks there.
Got it.
My alarm clock would sit on the sill, wake me up to WTQR every morning. I was glad when I left, but you know, you're young, you don't understand what you went through, and you don't understand the values that it's taught you yet. But over time you do, and I do now.
We appreciate you coming.
Yeah, I'm glad to come around and see it. Brings back a lot of memories.
Have you been down to your dorm?
Yes. I haven't, well, we skipped Armory, but I got to go to Holt and look at the rooms that I stayed in.
See, I remember when your dad brought you back the first time you went home, and he said, make him change his socks in his underwear. Evidently, they had gotten you home, and it was awful around the supper table.
One last visit before heading home. A chance to chat with the football team. A team that exists thanks to Dale's generosity.
When I went to school here, they didn't have a football team. And I thought that, you know, this is kind of a tough environment. It's a lot of fun going to school here, but it's different. And the football team might give you guys, or the whole school, really something extra to get excited about. We started a football team, which is huge when drawing new students to the school, because a lot of kids want to come there and play sports, want to be able to play sports. If you're at a military school, there's got to be a couple perks, you know, and a football team is a good dang perk. So, plus, I like football, and I want to see them win. I enjoyed the hell out of that for some reason. You know, it was really, really fun for me.
You have been a great benefactor for this school, and that's not baloney either. That's the honest to God's truth.
Well, we just getting started. We're just getting started.
Take care for me. Come on.
The military school deal was hard, but without it, I don't think I get to where I am today. There's no way. Impossible.
Up next on Shifting Gears, Dale talks about the role that his father still plays in his life today. Junior on the Intimidator, the son on the father, and the legacy of a last name.
Dale Earnhardt comes to win the Daytona 500.
Shifting Gears is presented by the National Guard. Explore your path to honor. Visit www.1800GoGuard.com.
I knew what I wanted to do after high school. I just wasn't sure how I wanted to do it.
I knew I'd eventually go to college, but I also knew that a traditional college just wasn't for me.
So meanwhile, I went from job to job to job.
Sure, some of them were kind of fun, but none of them were what I really wanted to do. Then I saw a commercial for Westwood College. Decided to give them a call.
They had programs on campus and online. I chose the flexibility of online,
Taking classes in my major right away.
wherever and whenever worked for me. Westwood's online tools made working with my instructors and classmates easy.
3 years later, I have my degree, a great career, and a great salary.
Westwood College gives you the flexibility of taking classes at one of our 17 campuses or online. In just 3 years, you can earn your bachelor's degree in design, business, technology, or justice. Find out more about our online programs, explore our interactive classroom demo, and get a free career success kit at westwoodonline.edu. Or call 1-800-317-1503.
B is for the beast of the Southeast. So you'd best buckle up, because the balance of power in the chase for the Sprint Cup will go back and forth until the bitter end. This week, with points leader Jimmy Johnson bearing down, chase drivers look to bounce back after the big one in Bama. What else could B be but the beast of the Southeast? The Bank of America 500 at Charlotte, Saturday night at 7 Eastern on ABC.
Here at Lowe's Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying was scheduled but has been washed away for the 8th time this year, so they will line up the field by point standings. We will have other coverage coming your way throughout the weekend, beginning with NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying. On Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, NASCAR Sprint Cup Happy Hour at 6:30, Nationwide Series race at 7:30 Eastern. NASCAR Now, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and of course, live flag-to-flag coverage of the Bank of America 500 on ABC Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Welcome back to Shifting Gears with Dale Earnhardt Jr., presented by the National Guard.
We're down in Texas, and I'm driving the Pennzoil car, that car over there, and we're going to appearance that morning. Seniors in the front seats, I think JR, I don't remember who was driving, and me and Junior sitting in the back seat, and Dale is all over Junior. about how to drive the car, what he's doing wrong. He's not in the setup. He got the wrong setup, that big old bar and those springs you got in that car, I think he's going to push like a dump truck. He would not shut up. And I'm sitting in the back seat, and Junior's sitting over, and he's looking out the window, and he's looking around, and finally he leans over to me and he says, "Will you do me a favor? When we get out of the car, will you tell him I know what I'm doing?"
For all the talk about horsepower, about sponsors, money, and fame, there's one invisible force that keeps Dale Jr. pushing through every day and every challenge: the memory and motivation of his father.
You know, my relationship with my dad was real tough when I was young. We no different than any other father-son. You know, you're just trying to get his attention all the time, and he's busy making his living and trying to feed you and give everybody at the house what they need. And so, you know, you're just trying to, everybody's pulling in different directions, and you're on one end pulling. And I think when I started racing and started doing okay and showing some, you know, showing some presence on the racetrack and looking like I might turn into a race car driver, that's where we had more in common and had more interesting and fun conversations together and spent a lot of time around each other due to the business working together a little bit. So our relationship got really good there around 98, 99. And you know, in 2000, I don't really remember much of 2000. Just that was a tough year for me as a rookie. We won some races, and I have some, you know, my best memory, I guess, I always recall on when I'm asked about that is the Winston that we won, just being in victory lane with him. That was really, really cool, but the rest of the year was a struggle, you know, and he helped me through it. You know, we had a lot of rough finishes, and he'd put his arm around you and tell you, you know, keep your chin up, just tell you whatever you needed to hear, you know, because you would get down, and he knew my confidence was really shaky back then. You know, you come in not knowing what to expect and how good you're going to be, and, you know, he sort of helped me a little bit through that. But I was really proud of my relationship with my dad. I was, because it took a long time to get it to where it was. And by the time when it, you know, there at the end, it was really good. It was a great relationship, and I was proud that I was able to get to that point, because you know, for a long time I didn't know whether we would ever really connect, and we finally did there.
Every day brings another series of questions about living up to his name. But Dale has never shied away from the legacy. A larger-than-life legend he witnessed as it was being built one win at a time.
You know, he was my dad, and I grew up and he was my father. He raced. I was amazed by his ability, and I saw him as a big icon. I saw what a lot of people saw in him, the icon. I was a fan of his just as much as I was his son. I would cheer for him to win the same way the fans cheered for him to win, you know. But the thing about it was, when he won, I got to go to victory lane, you know. I got to go down in there and get in victory lane, which was the biggest perk. But I don't know, you know, I think, but, you know, it was hard because when he'd come home, you know, you saw him all weekend and be this big, great thing, and then you'd come home and it'd be hard to get transition back to, you know, looking at him as a dad. But I didn't go to every race, so, you know, it was fun. When I would sit at home and listen to it on the radio, you know, you just couldn't wait for him to get home, but you cheered for him, but you weren't there to see the spectacle side of it, to see the grandeur of him as this race car driver. You know, as your dad, you were hearing on the radio, running third or whatever. But when you go to the racetrack and see people and the way they acted around him and the way they treated him and respected him, and other drivers respected him and looked at him and talked to him, how they talked to him, you knew he was a pretty big deal, you know. You just kind of knew that, you know, you come to the realization that you're the son of someone really insanely cool, you know. I mean, he was the best at, you know, he just was the best at everything. I don't know, you know, he's just the best at everything he ever did. Everybody, it don't matter how he did, even if he did wrong, people admired the hell out of him. Just, you know, you see Earnhardt flip that bulldozer, man. That was the coolest freaking bulldozer flip I've ever seen, you know. People would just, you know, even when he made mistakes, you know, people just were in awe of it. I don't know how he did that. He was just lucky. But I'm lucky to have known him as good as I knew him. I was really lucky.
When shifting gears returns, pressure. How do you handle the expectations? And how high is the bar? And the talk is finally drowned out by the roar of engines as the team finally hits the track for testing.
I like that he has a full head of hair.
She reminds me of my English teacher.
She has a really strong aura.
Hair is coiffed all the time.
I think he's hot.
Tune to Elections 08 On Demand for all the information you need on interests, issues, facts, and candidates. Elections 08 On Demand. Vote smart.
Press 890 on your digital remote or from your Channel 1 on-demand menu. Select News and World, then Elections 08.
Comcast means business. Now there's Comcast Business Class. You can get voice, internet with Microsoft Communication Services, and TV together for one low price. All backed by 24/7 technical support and a local account rep who knows you and where you do business. It's time to work better, faster, smarter. It's time to turn your office on with Comcast Business Class. Now just $99 a month. Call today.
Sprint Cup Series qualifying was scheduled but has been washed away for the 8th time this year, so they will line up the field by point standings. We will have other coverage coming your way throughout the weekend, beginning with NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying. On Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, NASCAR Sprint Cup Happy Hour at 6:30, Nationwide Series race at 7:30 Eastern. NASCAR Now, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and of course, live flag-to-flag coverage of the Bank of America 500 on ABC Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
You guys just eat whenever you want. Bring me whatever's left. We're going to shoot some stuff. What? Why is it bent?
Because they cut it in half.
No, you bent it. No, man.
It's cut in half of that.
What keeps you from being a great driver are distractions. And this, when you're where he is, you can have a lot of distractions.
Pressure. Everybody talks about pressure like it's a bad thing, man. That's good. That's what drives you. If you ain't under pressure, I don't know, man, you need to put yourself out there more. Pressure's important. Pressure, you know, it'd be a boring life without it.
I don't really know what people expect. You know, I expect us to be competitive because he was competitive where he was, and we won races with everybody here.
I don't know where the bar is. Is it 7 championships like our dad? Is it how many championships that Jeff has, 4 or 5, whatever he has? Is it 76 wins? Is it 200 wins like Richard Petty? You know, what is the expectation?
You have to step back, though, and realize how difficult it has to be on that individual. In our case, it's Dale Earnhardt Jr. to carry that burden of that much of exposure and everything.
I'd be disappointed if we don't make the chase, and I'd be disappointed if we don't win a race.
I think probably the most pressure's on Junior. I think, the media is going to be very critical. And I think that he wants to step it up and do what everybody hopes and expects, and his fans too expect that it can be.
There were times in the past where I would go to the track and say, well, top 3, that'd be freaking awesome, that'd be like a win, but not anymore. I'm pretty confident I can get out there and get the job done and put on any piece of asphalt they make out there.
He's
he's been very open about what his expectations are, and I think his comments on his expectations kind of set the tone to what the racing public expects and wants to see. And that's, again, manning up. That's big to do that, and I feel we're going to give him the tools to do it, and he's going to go out there and get the job done.
If you look now, he has 17 Cup wins. He's a two-time Busch champion. Two-time Busch champion in the only two years he ran Busch. He's won the Daytona 500. You know, he's finished as high as third in the point standings. Obviously, you know, there's been years that he hasn't made it. Is that bad? Is that good? Is that failure? Is that success? You know, really, where is it?
I don't really put measurable goals or expectations or specific numbers in front of me when I try to think about what's possible.
I think not making the chase and not winning at least, you know, 1 or 2 races would be a huge disappointment for everybody.
It's a lot of pressure, and I'm sure no one can understand the pressure and what comes with the decision that he's made.
There'll be mixed feelings from the day he said that he was not going to drive at DEI anymore to the day that he gets back in victory lane. There are many emotions that are going around and have been and will be.
If all the things that we've said about DEI are true, then everything that was wrong over there is right over here. And if that's what was keeping you from winning races and championships, you don't have that. You don't have that over here.
I was really surprised that people were agonizing over whether, you know, they could follow Dale or not.
Even though they may have a particular tie or bond to Dale Jr. because of the DEI involvement and his father who built DEI, Dale Jr. is still Dale Jr. And so what you were attracted to and what you followed and supported and rooted for is still, at its heart and soul and core, still the same.
Now it's just full throttle forward. You know, pretty much the best opportunity, you know, sits here in our hands. And I think he's confident enough that he can make the most of that.
Well, it certainly was a major headline in '07, and I think how he comes out in this new environment early in '08 is going to be well watched and very well scrutinized in some forms or fashion.
I give him a lot of credit, and Kelly too, for having the courage to say, okay, we're not going to do this anymore. You know, this isn't what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to go over here, and in some people's mind, we're going to go sleep with the enemy.
Disappointing. It's really disappointing. That sucks.
I think it'll be a good move for him. I wish he hadn't, but I think it'll be a good move.
Really don't care for it.
No. You should have stayed with DEI.
I think that when he goes out there and starts winning races and is competitive, you know, week in and week out and a shot at the championship, all those fans are gonna you know, be right there pulling for him.
I think what really makes it make sense for the following of Dale Jr. is for Dale to get to do what he wants to do, which is drive a race car and be successful driving it. And when that starts happening, I think the fans say, okay, now it makes sense.
I was kidding him the other day. I said, now you know, if you win, it's because of your talent. And if you don't, it's my fault. So I'm ready for that.
I think Rick feels a lot of pressure about next year. I would if I was him.
Even if they don't understand the change and don't necessarily agree with it and don't feel good about it, that they give it a chance to heal itself and give it a chance to say, all right, there must be a good reason for that.
For Dale, I mean, he's at a place where he feels very confident that he can do what he knows he can do.
Now that he's over here, he's got everything those other guys have got. So he ought to be able to beat them.
I really feel that, you know, he's going to be in a chase. It's going to be easy for him.
All the tools are there. If he just buckles down and does what he knows how to do best, he'll be fine.
We're going to do well. He's got too much talent, and we've got so many good people. I can tell you, watching him and knowing the talent that he has and the equipment that we have, he is going to be competitive.
I'm the best driver. I got the best team, the best car owner, the best sponsors. So we should win. We should win every time we go to the racetrack. That's what I expect.
When Shifting Gears returns, a new team, car, and era finally begin as Dale Jr. and his team arrive in Daytona for testing and finally hit the ground running. Shifting Gears is presented by the National Guard. Explore your path to honor. Visit www.1800GoGuard.com.
Every Tuesday night, the countdown to the final table continues. And the stakes are even higher for the most coveted jewel in the game. Now, only 79 players will survive on poker's biggest stage as Phil Hellmuth and some of the game's biggest stars look to move one step closer to the final table. The World Series of Poker main event at an all-new time, Tuesday at 9 on ESPN.
Everybody loves a beautiful garden, but not the blisters, bending, and backaches that come with it. Hi, Billy Mays here with the Awesome Auger, the world's most efficient and powerful yard tool you'll ever use. Just attach it to any size drill. Pull the trigger, plant, and grow. It's great for preparing soil for all kinds of planting. Use it to plant trees, shrubs, and bushes. It works like magic for tilling and cultivating the garden. And it's perfect for aerating compost piles. It takes all the work out of digging post holes, removing dead trees, bushes, roots, and stumps. It takes the hard work out of yard work. Made of solid steel, its spiral laser sharp edge gives you the muscle to blast through rock hard clay, cut through the thickest roots, and easily power out rocks and stubborn stumps. Call now and get the Awesome Auger for only $19.95. As a special bonus, we'll also include the Ground Dog to plant bulbs by the dozens with lightning speed, and is perfect for raised flower beds, large potted plants, and window boxes. But call right now and we'll send you the Weed Dog that removes embarrassing weeds and dandelions. Just reverse and remove. You can also use it to mix paint and concrete in seconds. And it even comes with the Awesome Auger Power Extender to make all your garden and yard work easier. The Weed Dog and the Power Extender are a $30 value, but they're yours free. Just pay shipping and processing. And with every order, we'll also include this powerful drill, a $40 value, but you'll get it free. Just pay shipping and processing. You get it all. The Awesome Auger, the Ground Dog, the Weed Dog, the Power Extender, plus the Power Drill. A whopping $120 value for only $19.95. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-576-7135 to order the Awesome Auger and get the Power Drill and Weed Dog with Extender free. Call 1-800-576-7135 now.
Here at Lowe's Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying was scheduled but has been washed away for the 8th time this year, so they will line up the field by point standings. We will have other coverage coming your way throughout the weekend, beginning with NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying. On Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, NASCAR Sprint Cup Happy Hour at 6:30, Nationwide Series race at 7:30 Eastern. NASCAR Now, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and of course, live flag-to-flag coverage of the Bank of America 500 on ABC Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Welcome back to Shifting Gears with Dale Earnhardt Jr., presented by the National Guard.
Daytona, that one race. When you win that race, all the things that these other guys, you won races, maybe even won a championship, but you never won the Daytona 500, you can't get to that top level. You're still, if there's a guy up here that won the Daytona 500 and you didn't, you're going to be under him.
Testing in Daytona went great. We were fast the whole time, and that felt great. You know, just being able to go out there and run good laps every time was a good feeling, knowing your car was going to be good, knowing it was quick. We worked really good together, and pretty happy with our car. You know, it went well. You know, we didn't try to overdo it and just tried to go through our list and see what the car did and how the car reacted and learn what we could learn. And I was really happy. the goals that we kind of had for this test, we met them, and I think the guys all got along real good, and I think they're everybody's really relieved, to kind of have some work together and kind of know what working around each other is going to be like. Testing was fine. The car was great. It performed great. I think everybody was really pleased with what they saw in each other and how the team went.
I think the biggest thing is just getting this team motivated, getting them ready for what's getting ready to be expected of them.
They're really focused. They're always moving and working, never talking and standing. They don't really talk much. They don't really talk much while they're working. They already seem to know what the other's doing and what they need to do. And
these guys, it's a great group of guys, but it's just a matter of, there's not many people that's been around Dale Earnhardt Jr.
As the test went, my team got more comfortable in their own skin. They felt like more of a team. They started to sort of see the way things are going to be the rest of the year and got comfortable and happy with it.
So it's just getting these guys motivated so that we can go in there just like we've been together for 3 or 4 years. I mean, because it's all about chemistry.
Everybody seems almost like a carbon copy of the next guy and how they methodically do their job. So I got some good friends to hang out with, and all the guys on the team are cool and really fun. And that makes it, just go over and hang out with them. Feel like you get too nervous, too many people are staring at you or whatever. The nerves ain't settled, it's always a pressure cooker, I think I just live with, that sort of pressure and anxiety daily. I'm not looking for Daytona to get here any faster. I'm looking forward to it every day and what every day's got going on. Before, I knew the territory, and I knew what I was going to do, and I knew where it was going to be, and I knew what it would be like. And now I don't.
We're going there for one reason, that's to win the race, and hopefully we can sweep the weekend. But I'm just going to turn him loose. I'm going to tell him, this is what we're after.
You got to remember it's your job and get your job done, do it well. You're trying to impress the guys you're working with, and that's what you're set out to do when you go to work. And it looks like it'd be a guarantee that it's a good team, and it's going to be a good team and a team that runs well. Yeah, there's a lot of people come out to the races. Some of them like to come see the testing. If they get autographed or something like that, I reckon. What's this? 4th Century. Greatest athletes. There you go. I don't even have one of those.
Junior, just to let you know, I don't care what team you're on, I'm always on your side.
I hear you. I'm with a good team, though, just in case you wondered. Daytona can get here when it gets here, but, because the season's a long one, and I want to be ready for it. I think if I get too excited and too amped on trying to get into the season, I might go in there so fast and burn out, get wore out halfway through the year, have to take a break. But
here's how it's going to go. It go one of two ways. Go to Daytona, have a great speed weeks. He is on his way. Look out. He could win 10 races. You go to Daytona, have a bad speed weeks, everything go wrong, disastrous, it will take him till the middle of the year to get over it. So Daytona is critical.
On the next episode of Shifting Gears with Dale Jr., the growing pains continue as the team works to gel during the testing at Las Vegas and California, and Daytona Speed Weeks finally arrive. From the shootout, to the duels, to the nationwide series, and ultimately the Great American Race. The most anticipated move in NASCAR history finally becomes reality, and racing's newest era shifts into overdrive.
The phone company has an important message for its customers. Don't listen to Vonage.
Well, over 2 million people have already joined Vonage.
Oh, really?
With Vonage, you get award-winning service quality with unlimited local and long-distance calls for just $24.99 a month.
Unlimited for just $24.99?
Are you having trouble keeping track of what your phone company is charging? With Vonage, your rate starts low and stays low.
Sign up now with Vonage and get 1 month free.
Call 1-877-4VONAGE or go online today.
If you've got over $10,000 in credit card debt and you can't ever see breaking free, then call J. Warren Financial and do it now. Being in over your head is a vicious cycle. J. Warren Financial will work on your behalf to get you out of debt and back on track. This is not bankruptcy. We fight for you using our proven experience and the insider programs the credit card companies try to hide. If you owe at least $10,000 to the credit card companies, you owe it to yourself to call J. Warren Financial at
800-610-5772.
B is for the beast of the Southeast. So you'd best buckle up, because the balance of power in the chase for the Sprint Cup will go back and forth until the bitter end. This week, with points leader Jimmy Johnson bearing down, chase drivers look to bounce back after the big one in Bama. What else could B be but the beast of the Southeast? The Bank of America 500 at Charlotte, Saturday night at 7 Eastern on ABC.
This door's wide open now. It's gonna happen, whether you like it or not.
4 judges ignored 4 million voters and imposed same-sex marriage on California. It's no longer about tolerance. Acceptance of gay marriage is now mandatory.
That changes a lot of things. People sued over personal beliefs. Churches could lose their tax exemption. Gay marriage taught in public schools.
We don't have to accept this.
Whether you like it or not.
Yes on 8.
Every vehicle, every day, one low price. That's a Ford store, Morgan Hill.
See our current pre-owned inventory on Channel 889 at Auto Classifieds On Demand. Browse through hundreds of vehicles without leaving your home. Listings are updated weekly, free to watch, and available 24/7. Try it right now. Just press 889 on your remote and select Classifieds. That's 889, then Classifieds. Put yourself in the driver's seat with Auto Classifieds On Demand, the new way to shop for used cars and trucks.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying was scheduled but has been washed away for the 8th time this year, so they will line up the field by point standings. We will have other coverage coming your way throughout the weekend, beginning with NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying. On Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, NASCAR Sprint Cup Happy Hour at 6:30, Nationwide Series race at 7:30 Eastern. NASCAR Now, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and of course, live flag-to-flag coverage of the Bank of America 500 on ABC Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. Robert F. Kennedy.
Shifting Gears, presented by the National Guard. Previously seen on Shifting Gears. In 2007, Dale Earnhardt Jr. announced he was leaving Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, the team his father had built from the ground up. The decision sparked a media frenzy never before seen in American motorsports.
I don't know if there was any doubt going into my mind that I needed to make a change.
Where would Junior go? Who would he pick to be his new boss?
I feel like this decision will give me that opportunity, and hopefully I can give my fans what they expect and deserve, and have a whole lot of fun along the way. And so today, it is a great honor to introduce my new boss for 2008, Mr. Rick Hendrick.
When he chose Hendrick Motorsports, he faced a whole new flood of questions. How would he get along with his superstar teammates? How would he handle the pressure of being with NASCAR's best team?
He's got to put that helmet on. He's got to focus, and he's got to think about winning races for his team and not let all those other elements floating around distract him.
Everybody talks about pressure like it's a bad thing, man. That's good. That's what drives you.
With the newly intensified expectations, push him forward or crush him. When the season began, hype turned into reality, and expectation gave way to execution. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s season began with a bang, winning the first 2 races of Daytona Speed Weeks.
All right! Good job, boys! What a race car!
Victories in the Budweiser Shootout and the Gatorade Dual 150s had the National Guard AMP team running big out of the box.
And the second checkered flag for the Sprint Cup cars in Speed Weeks, Dale Earnhardt Jr. again.
Good job. Built a good car. You'll probably ain't listening right now. You'll build a good car.
For all the pressure that was on everybody to just come out the gate rolling and come out with a win, that was pretty special.
In the weeks that followed, Junior achieved consistency, but not victory. A 9th place run in the Daytona 500 was followed by a disappointing outcome in California. In the season's opening stanza, the 88 team always found a way to salvage solid finishes, but each week, a new problem prevented them from winning.
I've got no right rear. Big disappointment in run-in.
So has the season been a success or a failure? From the Great American Race to the All-Star Race, Junior's been a fixture near the front, with 4 top 5 finishes, 8 top 10s, and a 3rd place points ranking. But that first precious points win remained elusive, and as any racer will tell you, top 5s are nice, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. After more than 70 races without a win, Junior Nation and Junior himself are getting anxious.
I think everybody knows we're due.
Spending his entire career with his family team, many wondered how Junior would fit in with his new family of teammates, crew, and sponsors. So far, so good. From a Texas pole to a wild night at Richmond, Dale has handled it all with pride, poise, and honesty.
If I'm not on the up and up and trying hard and trying to be sharp and doing what's right, this guy really doesn't have to keep me around, you know what I mean?
The NASCAR Sprint Cup season isn't a sprint at all. It's a marathon, and Dale is running the race the only way he knows how, his way. Shifting Gears is presented by the National Guard. Explore your path to honor. Visit www.1800GoGuard.com. AMP Energy, proud to be the energy behind Dale Jr. and the number 88 team.
I got $583 from CashForGold.com. All I did was look through my drawer full of jewelry that I never wear.
Turn your unwanted or broken jewelry, gold, silver, platinum, rings, chains, and bracelets into cold hard cash from CashForGold.com.
I had no idea my gold jewelry was worth so much money.
With gold, silver, and platinum at their highest value in decades, CashForGold.com is able to give you top dollar for your unwanted jewelry. And because we own our refinery, we can cut out the middleman, which means more cash in your pocket.
I sent in my diamond wedding band from my first marriage and got money the very next day.
Just call the number below and ask for your free, prepaid, insured refiner's return pack. Fill the envelope with your unwanted or broken gold, silver, and platinum jewelry and mail it to our processing center. A safe, reliable transaction with satisfaction guaranteed.
Call 1-800-970-6985. Call now.
Here at Lowe's Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying was scheduled but has been washed away for the 8th time this year, so they will line up the field by point standings. We will have other coverage coming your way throughout the weekend, beginning with NASCAR Nationwide Series qualifying. On Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, NASCAR Sprint Cup Happy Hour at 6:30. Nationwide Series race at 7:30 Eastern. NASCAR Now, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, live flag-to-flag coverage of the Bank of America 500 on ABC Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Welcome back to Shifting Gears with Dale Earnhardt Jr., presented by the National Guard. The legacy of the Earnhardt name isn't just about driving. His grandfather, Ralph Earnhardt, owned the cars he drove, and his father built Dale Earnhardt Incorporated from nothing into a Daytona 500 winner. The latest stage of that tradition is Dale Jr.'s team, Junior Motorsports. Every weekend, Dale keeps one eye on his number 88 Cup Series ride and the other on his 2 Nationwide Series teams. During a weekend like Vegas, it's a 200-mile-per-hour roller coaster ride. Junior Motorsports had 2 cars in the hunt at the end, but a wreck between teammates brought Mark Martin the victory and Brad Keselowski a disappointing 23rd place finish.
Brad wrecks a lot.
We've wrecked a lot of cars. The 5 car, we tore up 2 cars at Darlington. We've wrecked 1 at Charlotte Test. Brad got 1 tore up at Vegas. So, we've had a lot of wrecked cars to fix and having to build new ones to replace a lot of them. So.
When drivers wreck cars, the fans may love it, but for the owner, it's like watching money being thrown away.
Right now, we're really borderline stretching the dollar, and we can't afford to tear things up. We don't budget in the fact that we're going to wreck 6 race cars in a matter of 2 months. That doesn't get budgeted in, and that shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be happening.
Driver, businessman, car owner, bar owner, track owner, media superstar, and all points in between. There aren't enough hours in the day or enough juniors to go around.
In May, it's been really, really busy because it seems like kind of everybody's requests kind of caught up with us, and we've been having to book things like they need them next week, and can we carve out some time and fit that in for next week?
Yeah, the one thing I guess that I don't like about this year is the schedule, and that's not any one person's fault. It isn't bigger or worse because of moving Rick's. Actually, a lot of the schedule comes from my own choices.
Each week, Junior hits the airwaves with his buddies. This week, he invited the boss for some behind-the-scenes fun.
This is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Unrestricted.
All right, the first question I'm going to ask Rick Hendrick is, how am I doing, boss?
Doing the XM show, I get to have some pretty unique guests, and I get to ask, I get to have my friends on there sometimes too, and I get to ask them questions that we would never have a chance to really ask each other in that kind of context when we're getting to joke around a little bit. It's pretty fun. Me and Rick had a good time with that.
I want to make sure that you guys show up.
Yep.
Show up on time. Show up on time with your game face on.
Okay.
No whining. No wanting to leave.
So
early,
I got 3 things to do all at once. That's it.
Yeah, that's. If you did those 3 things in life, you'll be in good shape. Think about it.
Yep.
Show up. Show up on time. Show up on time with your game face on.
I get 2 out of 3. Is that all right?
That's close. We'll work on it.
He's a conglomerate on a roll, and while there was no race last week, Junior was busy opening his own nightclub in downtown Charlotte.
Whiskey River is a bar in downtown Charlotte that we opened. Everybody knows the song that Willie Nelson sang, but that ain't really where it came from or where our idea for the name of the bar came from. There's a lot of liquor there, and it's the rim road. But everybody seems to really like the bar.
During this year of change, Junior also decided to make some alterations at home. Just call it spring cleaning, Earnhardt style.
It was fun to be able to tear down my house. How many times do you think you have opportunity to do that?
Tried to take the house, and we donated a lot to Habitat for Humanity, and sold some things off to various people that were interested in some of the stuff and them helping us tear the house down. But Dale, I think, got on the bulldozer with Sonny one day, and I'm sure he didn't know what he was doing. He doesn't ride many bulldozers or tractors. The first time he rode his tractor out here, he got it stuck in the swamp.
Building a new house, it's gonna take a long time. Living in a loft right now up in my late model shop. Gotta be patient to get that house built. It's gonna take a long time. It's gonna be a mess.
Now let's go in it now that it's dangerous. Let's go in it now that the structural integrity is weak. Yeah.
Coming up next on Shifting Gears, the attention escalates and so does the pressure as Dale Jr. looks to end the longest winless streak of his Cup career.
Tonight, Detective Sam Tyler will find himself stuck in 1973, and he doesn't know why. From the network that brought you Lost, Grey's Anatomy, and NYPD Blue comes the next great cop show. Harvey Keitel, Lisa Bonet, Michael Imperioli, Gretchen Mol, and Jason O'Mara in the 4-star premiere event. ABC's Life on Mars premieres tonight 10/9 Central right after an all-new Grey's Anatomy on ABC.
Can you say freetriplescore.com 3 times fast?
Freetriplescore.com, 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 freetriplescore.com. What's freetriplescore.com?
Freetriplescore.com, freetriplescore.com. Why is freetriplescore.com the best place to go get my credit score?
Freetriplescore.com gives you all 3 credit reports and scores from the 3 top bureaus. And best of all, they're free when you try Privacy Matters 1, 2, 3.
Really get all 3 for free?
Why do I need to check all 3 of my credit reports and scores?
One credit report doesn't tell you the whole story.
You could have good credit on one report, and on the other 2, you could have harmful information that could keep you from getting a loan, and in some cases, keep you from getting a job.
Not knowing your credit score could be a big mistake.
I didn't know my credit score could keep me from getting a job.
Lenders look at all 3 credit reports, shouldn't I?
3 really is better than 1.
Where can I get all 3?
Where can I get all 3?
Where can I get all 3? Log on to freetriplescore.com where you can get 3 for free.
Freetriplescore.com.
Welcome back to Shifting Gears with Dale Earnhardt Jr., presented by the National Guard. Some believe that Dale Jr.'s ties to his family are a little too strong. The critics say that Tony Jr. isn't right for Dale, that they're too close to do what it takes to get over the hump.
Well, me and Tony Jr. seem to be getting along pretty good. You know, I was really worried when we were going into this deal how he was going to deal with not working for my dad's company. I know he felt real close to my dad, so I was wondering how he was going to handle that. But he's really found a place of his own at Hendrick, and he sort of worked right in there, and he's part of the deal now.
You know, I think they work together good. Now, a lot of people don't think that. You know, you read stuff on the internet and all, but those 2 guys work real good together. Sometimes Dale Jr. is hard to get information out of, and Tony Jr. tries to beat it out of him. And Dale Jr. gets real excited when he's in the car. He's really pumped up. He really gets into it, you know, and a lot of times on the radio you hear a lot of arguing and stuff, but that's just those 2.
It's pretty terrible how it drives. Well, we ain't that far off from where we started. I just keep moving the track bar down to make it get drip off the corner, and off the corner, and when you do that, you're going to get tighter in the center. So the biggest problem is you ain't got enough left rear spring in it, and there's nothing I can do about it now, so let's just try to make the best of the day. Yeah, I want to run fifth. I want you to run the fifth, but bottom line is I can't change the spring running around there. So let's just concentrate on what you got to do and get you a top 10. Ain't gonna get down like this. I ain't, man. I ain't good enough. It get better.
I tell you how good Tony Jr. is. My brother, who's had a lot of crew chiefs, and hadn't won a lot of races, but I will give him credit for one thing. He said Tony Jr. was the smartest crew chief that he had ever worked with or had ever seen in the Sprint Cup garage.
Everybody's got the same goal, trying to win races, and I think I'm surrounded by a lot of great people, and there's a lot of people that wouldn't be able to take what way Junior treats them.
It's also good not to fall further into the back of the top 10. I can't drive it no better than this.
I think I got bigger shoulders to carry that load, but as far as that, it's not one man's not going to change the whole thing. It takes, there's 30 guys on this team that come here each and every week to help us do this deal, and one man's not going to change it.
He knows when I'm pissed, he knows it. I don't have to apologize for nothing, man. And he don't really either. If he's mad, maybe I need to go home and think about it, and figure out why he's mad. And because if he apologizes, I don't learn nothing. Same for him. But we just push each other really hard. We want the best for each other, but we want the best out of each other. And there's nobody else to raise hell to. You know what I mean?
As the calendar turns into April, NASCAR turns to Texas. The location of Dale's first Busch and Cup wins, and where his popularity is as big as, well, Texas.
When the fans get excited, get pumped up like they do here, it really gets you excited and it makes you want to run good. But we're pretty happy with how we've run here in the past. We've obviously it'll be a special place for me having those early wins, and hopefully we can always maintain a lot of good competition here when we show up.
A lot of exciting things early in our careers happened here, so we run very good here last year and got caught up in an accident, led to most laps, and it's always you run really good or something happens. So hopefully we can get that off our back and then actually finish it off.
Would the Lone Star State hand the team their #1 win? They got off to the right start, winning the pole to come out guns a-blazing from the #1 position.
Put it off. How was it? 28-28. They're not going to get that one. Yeah, they might. Good roll, man. Good job. Good car. Damn good work.
Texas Motor Speedway, the official firearm of Texas Motor Speedway. Dale, this is a $65,000 hand-engraved shotgun on behalf of Rainout, Texas Motor Speedway. Congratulations for winning the pole.
Here at Texas, they make a pretty big deal out of winning the pole, so that's always a bonus and makes you feel like you put a lot of work into it. And it's just a pride thing. I've not been a guy who gets a lot of poles throughout the year, so this is a great example, I guess, of how much better our season's going this year compared to my seasons and personally in the past.
But the speed from Friday didn't translate to Sunday, and Dale was frustrated by the lost opportunity.
There was one race where we struggled. It was Texas.
To get that 38, and then you'll be lucky dog for a little bit here. I have been chasing this 38 since I pulled out on each set of tires all year. I'm doing everything I can do, buddy. All right.
We felt pretty good. We were fast in practice there, but I don't know. We kind of the car just got away from us. We couldn't figure out what was wrong with it.
Yeah, we're pretty disgusted with the way the car run today, but setup we had up underneath it, we was kind of locked into it, so he was pretty much loose all day.
Texas didn't bring a win, but the season's 7th race had the team on pace to make the chase. Headed to Talladega, the 88 team sat a solid 4th in points.
88? Yeah, you're right.
If there's a place to go for a boost, it's Talladega, where Dale owns 5 wins.
And he's going to run out of time. Junior, 4 straight wins at Talladega.
As the season continues, so does Dale's crazy schedule. Before the high banks of Alabama came the Kentucky dirt. The Paducah International Raceway is co-owned by Dale, Ken Schrader, and Tony Stewart. a 3/8 mile sandbox for grown-ups.
It's pretty fun, you know. I ain't never raced dirt, and I don't know if I ever will, but I wanted to get into track ownership on a lower rank scale, and that was a good opportunity with Kenny. And he's pretty good and smart with those type of deals and dirt racing and track ownership there at dirt tracks, and I thought it'd be good to work with him on it. It takes a little more time personally. You know, you have to go there and check the place out twice a year or two or three times a year. I do like watching a race or two, just like the fans do.
Thanks for having us. Good to see some of you guys sign autographs tonight. Look forward to this weekend getting us a win in Talladega.
After checking out his dirt track, Dale has to get back to Talladega to take on NASCAR's fastest speedway.
Out there by themselves.
I went into Talladega and we had to improve some things from Daytona that we felt hurt us and hurt our chance of winning the 500. So we went into Talladega and we were pretty happy, pretty good with the car. The car was fast, and it was good in the race.
In Sunday's Sprint Cup race, after battling for the lead most of the day, Junior and Tony Stewart got into a famous Talladega tangle.
Side there. Keep digging, man. That's 20 you got in your bumper there. Big wreck behind you. The one outside there. That's not your fault. That's the 20.
Junior showed off his driving skills and saved his number 88 car.
I saved it, though. Yeah, you did. I'm talking about. You did awesome.
But there was some damage that resulted in not one.
You guys got to get together and get that done. That was what you were doing over there. Go back, Dale Jr. We're going to try to do something to the left rear.
But 2 pit stops, sending him to the back of the pack.
With 10 laps to go, we had a restart. We're in the back, and we almost lost the draft. And me and James Murray got to talking on the radio through our spotters, and we forged a plan to work together to get back up there, and it worked. It worked for me. When we come toward the last lap or whatever, he banged into something. I got a flat tire, but I finished 10th, so he would have finished 10th or 9th if he'd have hung on.
As the Talladega story faded away, a controversy was ready to charge in from Richmond the very next week.
This is not the Vietnam War you've read about. This is not the war you've seen. This is Vietnam the way it really happened. Gripping and brutal, courageous and shocking, real and unvarnished. See it for the first time ever in the razor-sharp clarity of DVD. It's Vietnam, an American history, the complete visual record of the war on DVD. You'll see rare footage shot on once-secret missions, filmed in the heat of combat and behind enemy lines. You'll finally get the whole picture, from Tonkin Gulf to the fall of Saigon. Operation Rolling Thunder, the siege of Khe Sanh, the Tet Offensive. This is Vietnam without the bias, without the spin, digitally remastered on crystal clear DVD. Get Vietnam, an American history on 3 DVDs for just $59.99. But wait, call with your credit card and you'll get an extra $20 off. That's nearly 8 hours of gripping footage for just $39.99. And that's not all. Call in the next 10 minutes and get free shipping and handling, an additional savings of nearly $10. From Air Cavalry to Jungle Patrol, from the Ho Chi Minh Trail to the Hanoi Hilton. This is no Hollywood movie. This is the real thing. Newsweek hailed it as riveting and powerful. The New York Times said it may change opinions about the war. Call now to get Vietnam, an American history, 460 gripping minutes on 3 DVDs for just $39.99. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll ship it for free. This is their story. This is our story. Call now for Vietnam, an American history on DVD.
Call 1-800-503-3198 to order Vietnam, an American history on 3 DVDs for $39.99 and receive free shipping when you use your credit card or order online at timelife.com/Vietnam.
B is for the beast of the Southeast. So you'd best buckle up, because the balance of power in the chase for the Sprint Cup will go back and forth until the bitter end. This week, with points leader Jimmy Johnson bearing down, chase drivers look to bounce back after the big one in Bama. What else could B be but the beast of the Southeast. The Bank of America 500 at Charlotte, Saturday night at 7 Eastern on ABC.
Welcome back to Shifting Gears, presented by the National Guard.
Yeah, I like racing at Lowe's because we can stay at home and be around the house and see some family. We've been so busy lately, I ain't seen some of my family in 3 or 4 weeks, and it's good to be able to come back and forth and be at the house in the morning, be able to sleep in a little bit. It's real nice.
He won the 2000 Sprint All-Star race. He drives the National Guard in Henry Chevrolet for Henry Motorsports from Kannapolis.
All right, man, coming to the green this time by. Check about everything one last time. $1 million on the line. Do work.
I don't know if I like the All-Star race as much as I used to. I used to really like it, but the formats aren't appealing to me now. 4 segments of 25 laps isn't that much fun. What differentiates? There's nothing different, between the 4 segments. 25 laps, It just doesn't make any sense. What are the segment 2 and 3 for? What are they for? I don't know. I like the old days when you had 10 laps at the end and you just threw it all out there, and those were awesome. 10 laps.
He fought that, and look at this. Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And now here's the big man himself, Dale Sr., giving the hug to his son. What a great moment.
Those 10 laps in the Winston, when there used to be the format that the last 10 laps were run, there wasn't a person there not on their, on their feet and anticipating something. And they don't have that with the format they got now.
Yeah, we just need to work on the camber a little bit and the rear weight, because it makes me so loose off when you got that full tank in there. Man, we'll be pretty good next week. Yeah, I got some ideas on some other stuff in here too that we're looking at. We just don't need to be playing with it right now. But yeah, we got us a real good race car for next week.
In mid-May, Dale Jr. was able to look back on the season with a smile. His team was 3rd in points, with a league-leading 8 top 10 finishes, but win number 1 had been elusive.
I think, that win's right around the corner. There'll be more after that. I feel like you get to go to a lot of these places second time around. He's worked with the team, trying to make all that gel together. I think Dale will definitely make the chase. I don't see any reason why he can't unless some crazy luck happens. I think he can only get better, and definitely, see us as a contender for the championship.
You know that if you're running top 5, you're going to win races, and that's really the goal that everyone has, is to be competitive week in and week out. And you're going to lose some when you have the best car, and you're going to win some when you don't have the best car. But if you're consistently in the top 5, you're going to have opportunities, and that's what that 88 car has done this year for themselves. And they're sitting there great in the points, and they're knocking on the door.
Our goal is to be in the chase, and we want to win some races and win this championship. I think that's the biggest goal here. As nobody's expecting us to win the championship first year out with Hendrick, so that's my goal.
There's 2 ways this thing's going to go. He's going to start off like a house of fire, and that's what I thought when we went to Daytona. Won those first 2 races, I said, man, we're on fire. Or it's going to take to about the middle of the year. And now I see it as being a middle of the year thing.
I think we can run good the rest of the year, keep doing what we're doing, running in the top 5. We need to still be conscious of trying to get wins. We need to be more conscious of trying not to get impatient and wore out. The season's really long, and this is one of the tougher years that I've had as far as the schedule goes compared to my rookie season. And we really got after each other in my rookie season as it wore on and we wore down. We fell apart. We just got to be conscious of that and try to stay motivated and have a positive attitude around each other. Let that rub off on each other as a team.
When Shifting Gears returns for Episode 5, Dale Jr. and the 88 team get back to business. The Marathon 600-miler at Charlotte, where 400 laps bridge the gap between day and night. One of NASCAR's crown jewel events. An endurance race where drivers put away any nonsense about not being athletes. Then we follow Earnhardt through the long, hot summer. The white banks of Dover. The Pocono Triangle. The Irish Hills of Michigan.
76 races since he last went to victory lane, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the winner at Michigan.
And California wine country. It all builds to the greatest track of all, Independence Day at Daytona. Shifting Gears is moving into high gear, and what a ride it's been so far. This is not the end. It is not even the beginning of the end. But it is, perhaps, the end of the beginning. Sir Winston Churchill. Shifting Gears, presented by the National Guard. Previously on Shifting Gears.
For all the pressure that was on everybody to just come out of the gate rolling and come out with a win, that was pretty special.
He's got him. I believe he's got him.
When I get on the racetrack, I don't have a urge to go out and wreck Kyle.
Love that car, man. So bring her home.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it.
Biggest problem is you ain't got enough left rear spring in it, and there's nothing I can do about it now, so let's just try to make the best of the day.
There was one race where we struggled. It was Texas.
I have been chasing this 38 since I pulled out on each set of tires, Tony Jr.
Because if he apologizes, I don't learn nothing.
You read stuff on the internet and all, but those two guys work real good together.
They're up there every single week. It's just got to kind of fall their way.
It's been pretty good working with my teammates.
It wasn't a stretch of the imagination to be teammates with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Jr. took us on the most wild ride of his life.
It was kind of like running up a hill, you know, and not getting any traction. you know, and you're just not going anywhere, and you're doing more work than anybody around you, and they're all going somewhere. And so over the last 6 months, we're starting to make some ground to the top of that hill.
Changing everything from his team, number, and sponsor to paint schemes and fire suits. This has been a season that has illustrated Junior's growth and maturation.
He was like a dog on a bone. He was determined that he was going to have a good year and he was going to run well.
He's definitely matured a lot, and he's still Dale Jr. You know what I mean? He hasn't changed a lot, at least that I see.
I think his maturity showed him that, hey, I can step out here and I can be my own person and I can stand on my own 2 legs.
I think he's just been happier. I mean, that's the biggest deal with Junior. You know, he's got a lot to improve, and, you know, I think he's enjoying driving race cars this year.
Earnhardt gave us an inside peek at the opening stanza of his 2008 campaign. From the season's first green flag at Daytona to NASCAR's All-Star race in mid-May.
Usually when you put a new team together, it doesn't click right out of the gate. But Tony Eury Jr. did a heck of a job coming in here, taking all the tools that were here, and they've carried the flag the first half of the year.
I think everybody knows we're due.
Now it's time to shift gears, and again we hit high gear, back on Junior's hometown track. The 88 team felt confident heading into Memorial Day weekend, thanks to a strong car that showed flashes of greatness in the All-Star race.
Oh, man, we'll be pretty good next week. Yeah, we got us a real good race car for next week.
To most Americans, Memorial Day marks the unofficial start of summer. As temperatures rose, so did the pressure of immense expectation and the frequency of an all-too-familiar question. When would Junior finally end his almost 2-year winless drought? Would a victory at Charlotte finally put that question to rest and finally give his team a rest from the pressure? A stress and strain shared by the driver, his crew, and his fans. Shifting Gears is back on track and ready for the second half of the season. So pull those belts tight and enjoy the ride. Shifting Gears is presented by the National Guard. Explore your path to honor. Visit www.1800GoGuard.com. Amp Energy, proud to be the energy behind Dale Jr. and the number 88 team.
It's the most heartwarming product placement movie of the year.
Rachel, you know what your problem is. You want everything. You want a husband, you want unlimited text, unlimited data, and unlimited calls.
Instinct, only from Sprint.
Someone got an email.
Featuring lightning-fast internet, voice-cued GPS navigation, and starring the Simply Everything plan from Sprint.
Why wouldn't I want everything for just $99.99 a month? Maybe you're afraid to be in love.
The new Samsung Instinct, only on the Now Network. Visit InstinctThePhone.com.
I got $583 from CashForGold.com. All I did was look through my drawer full of jewelry that I never wear.
Turn your unwanted or broken jewelry, gold, silver, platinum, rings, chains, and bracelets into cold hard cash from CashForGold.com.
I had no idea my gold jewelry was worth so much money.
With gold, silver, and platinum at their highest value in decades, CashForGold.com is able to give you top dollar for your unwanted jewelry. And because we own our refinery, we can cut out the middleman, which means more cash in your pocket.
I sent in my diamond wedding band from my first marriage and got money the very next day.
Just call the number below and ask for your free, prepaid, insured refiner's return pack. Fill the envelope with your unwanted or broken gold, silver, and platinum jewelry and mail it to our processing center. A safe, reliable transaction with satisfaction guaranteed.
Call 1-800-970-6985. Call now.
Tuesday night, it's poker's biggest stage as Phil Hellmuth and some of the game's biggest stars look to move one step closer to the final table. The World Series of Poker main event at an all-new time, Tuesday at 9 on ESPN.
Welcome back to Shifting Gears with Dale Earnhardt Jr., presented by the National Guard.
Today be a great day.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, that's what I came here for, to watch Junior win.
Oh. He's as due as they come. Yep.
He's due.
With the National Guard and Big Dog General Vaughn on your side, there's no better pit support for a grueling 600-mile race.
I don't know what it is about that guy. He's real tough, and I don't know, it reminds me of
my daddy a lot.
Everybody that really knows him, he's real. There's nothing put on about him.
I like it when he comes to the race. It really pumps me up. I hope it pumps the team up.
All right, man, coming to the green next time, bye. All right, get ready. Ready, drain.
In the 600, our car was really fast. We led a lot of laps.
How about the lead this 88 has gotten?
It's just making me nervous. He's just using up every inch of the racetrack over there.
We were running the top like I like to do there, and the car was handling really good up there.
Car is neutral. I got you there.
But a sadly familiar pattern once again emerged. The 88 looked good early, but then found trouble late in the race.
He is wearing that high groove out.
He's got a real move off of turn 2 over there. Makes me a little nervous, though.
Coming up to lap my teammate, Jeff, and I wasn't in a real big hurry to lap him, you know. I was just kind of taking it easy. But taking it easy, I got off my rhythm a little bit. I think I either blew a right front tire or just slid into the wall by making a mistake. I'm gonna go with the flat tire scenario.
Junior's setback sent him to the pits for multiple stops, and that sent him to the back of the pack.
Anytime you have a problem in a race, the team's real good about putting the car back together or working real hard. They get into this crazy pace, home fixing things and getting the car back on the track, trying not to lose any laps.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with this thing. All right, let's full strategy to win this race here. We'll see what this thing will do. All right, guys, let's just take a chill pill here, and we're going to come back down. When you get a chance here, Dale Jr., we'll come back down. We'll check out everything one more time.
Our team did a really good job at getting the car where it was still competitive, and I was able to get a good finish instead of just trying to ride out the rest of the race.
I think the hardest thing there is knowing that you had the car to win and getting it back inside you to know that, okay, my car's not good enough to win. I've got to go to the back. You know, we're only going to get a decent finish at best here to make yourself dig down.
As one of America's greatest philosophers once said, it ain't over till it's over. For Earnhardt, it wasn't.
They are still racing all around the track.
It's very difficult to pass cars. Everybody runs pretty much the same speed. So for him to have gotten back there, I mean, you know, had a little luck with the fuel.
You know, we just kind of kept looking at the fuel strategy and just, you know, hey, if this thing luckily goes green, we can go all the way. If we stop here and top off and just conserve some fuel, and that's what we did, and, you know, it paid off.
Right now, he's in the 5th position.
In a wrecked race car.
Yeah, good job, man. 5th place, man, I'll take it. Hey, wait for a beer. First off, I want some amp, obviously. Then I had a beer.
Perseverance paid off. Another potential disaster overcome. Dale and his team gutted out another top 5 finish. After the race, the effects of the effort were obvious.
The 600 is the longest race of the year. It's another 100 miles longer than anything else. So it tires you. It tires you. Even if your car's running good, you work hard.
900 miles. Yeah. Probably, maybe 100. 100.
When you run hard, more satisfying 5th place finishes are when you don't hit the fence. A little bummed out about hitting the wall. We was leading, having a good car. We could have finished 1st or 2nd.
When Shifting Gears returns, Dale Jr.'s move to Hendrick brought a scrambling schedule that is second to none. We'll take a wild ride in the life of NASCAR's busiest man. Shifting Gears is presented by the National Guard. Explore your path to honor. Visit www.1800GoGuard.com. Amp Energy, proud to be the energy behind Dale Jr. and the number 88 team.
If you don't have health insurance, you're not alone. There are over 47 million Americans without coverage today. And with health insurance premiums on the rise, where do you go to sort it out? At eHealth.com, we've helped hundreds of thousands of Americans find affordable health coverage. If you or someone you know needs help, visit us today at eHealth.com.
Darren! Papa John's is here!
Everyone's excited for this year's biggest adventure. The big taste of the XL Explorer Pizza. 30% bigger than our large. With your choice of any 3 toppings. A big deal at $13.99. Plus, get a $3 off coupon for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull on DVD. Call or click PapaJohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
B is for the beast of the Southeast. So you'd best buckle up, because the balance of power in the chase for the Sprint Cup will go back and forth until the bitter end. This week, with points leader Jimmy Johnson bearing down, chase drivers look to bounce back after the big one in Bama. What else could B be but the beast of the Southeast? The Bank of America 500 at Charlotte, Saturday night at 7 Eastern on ABC.
I had always tinkered with automobiles.
It was addicting. Want to work on cars? This is the best way to do it.
WildTech is the real deal.
They teach it all to you right there. It's like going to school for a hobby.
You know you're learning something that you're going to use.
Preparing you for the outside world.
Life's looking good right now.
My school's
WildTech.
Get on the fast track to a career. Train with WildTech. Even if you don't have a high school diploma or a GED, we may have a program that can help you. Get on the fast track to a career. Train with WildTech. 1-800-282-2399.
Horsepower is here, and no leading synthetic oil delivers more power than Q horsepower, which is why it's recommended by Ferrari for every oil change. Q horsepower. Unleash all your horses.
Hart Jr., presented by the National Guard.
For 2008, he had going in about 35 to 40 productions that we had to do. Appearances, it was about 60 to 70.
When Dale Jr. decided to leave Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, the move involved so much more than simply grabbing a brand new car with a brand new number. It required a total reinvention of racing's most popular driver from the wheels up. With all that change comes the craziest calendar in NASCAR.
You basically have to live and die by the calendar, and I stare at that thing probably half the day.
In the last show, I was complaining about my schedule, and we were shooting around the Charlotte race weekend, which was a pretty busy time. July is a really good month where things kind of calm down. August, it's pretty decent. It starts picking right back up near the end of August as you start getting closer and closer to Charlotte.
We try to build in off time just to keep him sane and to keep us sane. You go crazy if you didn't.
It's a great necessary evil, you'd love to have the time to do some things, but, at the same time that, hey, I know that, the things that we do are so important for what we're racing for.
That's what wears you down as a driver. It's not the competition. Everybody thinks, oh man, driving 500 miles a weekend. That's not what wears you down. It's everything leading up to that point. When you actually get to the racetrack and you can concentrate on just driving a race car, that's whenever the fun actually starts for you.
There's one thing that people fail to consider, and that's that Dale Jr. is an owner, and that has a whole new set of obligations than just driving.
Things will slow down. Things will spread out. As Amp and Guard get materials together, they'll have more to choose from as the years, continue on in our relationship.
But busy doesn't have to mean miserable. The ride and the flight have been fun.
Going on the aircraft carrier, that was pretty fun. Flying in, landing on that thing, taking off from it, watching other jets take off and land. Hell, I've had scarier landings on runways, to be honest with you.
To get to go on it is awe-inspiring and just amazing to see all the people and everything it takes to make it run.
Seeing all these young 18, 19-year-old kids with such responsibility at their fingertips, and so many people really depending on each other, working as a team. That thing's just one big team floating down, out in the ocean.
Junior's affiliation with the military isn't merely a sponsorship or a business transaction. At North Carolina's Fort Butner, the entire team paid a visit to the National Guard.
2. 400 pounds. Close, 400 to 410. One of the coolest things about it was they had these buildings where you go into simulation. I enjoyed video games, so that was kind of the coolest part of the day for me. I think it was fun for the whole team. The whole team got to go out there and really experience that, and I think they really enjoyed that. Oh, we just looking at the rear tires. Looks like somebody's been spinning on the asphalt wearing them out.
May well have. You never know.
Appearances aside, Dale Jr.'s business begins and ends at the track. And on-track intensity isn't exclusive to the Sprint Cup Series, as Earnhardt's up-and-coming nationwide racer, Brad Keselowski, learned at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
You get towards the end of the race and you're running with a guy that you've, been struggling with earlier in the race. The tempers just kind of flared up on both sides.
What the hell was that all about? Denny veered at him up the racetrack. I don't know. It's intentional. It's bull. Yeah, they just showed it on the replay. Big time intentional.
When Brad and the 88 team got into it with Denny's guys at Charlotte, it was kind of split down the middle. I didn't want them to make asses of themselves and embarrass our company. But at the same time, man, these guys have been working for about 3 years to even be competitive and to have an opportunity. And I was really glad to see that reaction instead of them just rolling over and thinking nothing of it.
There's just, over 70 people, 70 employees at Junior Motorsports putting our cars together to make them go out there and go battle. And when you see one get torn up over a temper, it just really frustrates everyone.
Sometimes you have to get to that point, and then that's going to help you become closer and a much more tight-knit group. And I think that probably Junior and Brad, that was probably a good thing for everybody involved there. And Brad's done fantastic since then.
2 weeks later in Nashville, Keselowski proved he belonged on any track with any racer.
First-time winner in 2008, Brad Keselowski.
Well, Dale's put a lot of effort into the 88 car. He's gone through some tough seasons with it, been through some drivers, some equipment. We've all been fighting for this thing to win a race now. Our whole careers, Dale as a car owner and myself in the Navy included. And to be able to do that all at once, it's like a breath of fresh air. It's a relief.
For us to finally just get there, we have our first trophy, our first win flag hanging in the office now, and we can say that we are a nationwide series winner.
It's kind of like as a parent, you take and your kids do something special. That means more to you than anything that you ever accomplish. And I feel like that Junior and Kelly probably feel the same way because they built that basically from scratch.
I realized the dream thanks to a bunch of you guys. And thanks for the rest of the season, which is going to be a good one.
Many more. Go Junior Motorsports or JR Motorsports.
Well, the biggest thing Dale told me is just from his own experience is, man, you're only going to get one first win in this deal. Make sure you have fun. Make sure you celebrate it all week, whole week. Don't let up. Don't focus too much on next week. Have fun with this. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Keselowski's win showed Junior Motorsports the way to victory lane. But could that momentum translate to a Cup Series win for Junior?
When Brad won that race, it reminded me of that joy that you get. Just made me miss it more, really. Just made it harder on the fact that harder to have not won for so long,
Signing up for digital phone service through your cable provider? Do you really think bundling with your cable company is saving you money? You've been bundling.
It's time for Vonage.
When you bundle, that low promotional rate expires and your bill goes up. With Vonage, your rate starts low and stays low. Sign up now with Vonage and get 1 month free. Enjoy clear digital phone sound quality using your high-speed internet connection. Get Vonage, the #1 rated digital phone service.
Call 1-877-4Vonage or go online today.
There's a place where you can get a real-world, hands-on education.
Where every day I help make college education affordable.
It's a place where I got a degree, a career that I love, and a great salary.
Where I bring 10 years experience into the classroom.
Westwood College is a place where you can succeed. We have programs in high-demand fields like justice, design, technology, healthcare, and business. Don't wait. Visit westwoodonline.edu or call today for your career success kit free. The success kit includes information on over 25 fast-growing careers, complete with salaries.
Resumes, interviewing, networking will help you find a great career.
I made the choice, got on the path to success, and in 3 years, I had a bachelor's degree.
Westwood College gives you the flexibility of taking classes at one of our 17 campuses nationwide or online. For your free career success kit, visit westwoodonline.edu or call today. 1-800-661-5716.
Greedy! Colin?
Yeah.
It's me, Kyle.
Hey.
Come on, I listen to your show every day.
How you doing, man?
Not so good, actually. Doctor says I probably need a kidney transplant.
Oh, well, at least you only need one, right?
You really do that for me? You give me a kidney?
What?
Oh, God! You give and you give and you give!
Welcome back to Shifting Gears with Dale Earnhardt Jr., presented by the National Guard. When you're NASCAR's most popular driver, and it's been 76 races since your last win, the questions of when are inevitable.
It starts to wear on you. It aggravates you more than anything because you know you're capable and you're doing your job. It's just circumstances.
With each race, that chatter becomes more intense. With every top 10, every top 5, every close call, the pressure grows. After a 35th place run at Dover and another top 5 finish at Pocono, Junior was still close, but still winless.
I felt every week that I've had a car to win, and now that's how I feel every week, and I like that. And that's how you're supposed to feel. It's nothing uncommon. I didn't feel different going to Michigan.
Junior Nation turned its eyes and its hopes to the Irish Hills. Every race comes down to decisions made in the pits. But in Michigan, those decisions come into play more than most.
Guys in front of you are going to have to stop. The ones behind you are going to go for it. So we're going to wind up 25th. If you run out on the last lap, you're going to run 25th. You stay out, you'll win the race. Yeah, simple, but you got to finish.
We're sitting here running 7th, 8th, and we're going to be in trouble. We're going to wind up 21st when this thing's over with. We don't find something to do.
When we made the decision to stay out, that gave us a chance to win. Okay? Any other decision other than staying out has 0 chance of winning. So it was easy to make, You go with the opportunity to win. And we had saved a lot of gas, and I'd learned a little bit about saving gas in Charlotte and made it work.
76 races since he last went to victory lane, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the winner at Michigan.
Good job. Woo! Yeah, baby! Way to go, Tony Jr. Let's don't that happen. Good job, driver.
He was smart enough to cut the motor off, coast around, do some things, and there's no doubt that last caution definitely helped us out.
I'm out of gas!
Trying to get to victory lane, the National Guard 88 team was more than happy to push him.
Honestly, I was expecting the worst right there when that green-white checker come out, and for it to work out, that was pretty special.
Emotions went through my mind that day. The last time we won a race at Michigan was when we won our 100th win. I happened to be at the hospital with my dad, so I was thinking about that day. I was also thinking about Ricky, my son, because it was Father's Day, and how he had told me years back that he and Junior were going to do this deal together one day. And so all of those emotions, it being Father's Day, and Junior talking about his dad.
I miss my daddy, and I'll dedicate this win to him and all the other daddies at DEI and Hendrick all across the country. I hope it's been a great day for them. But it's a special day, and I hope all the sons out there were good. I hope they were giving their daddies a good Father's Day gift.
It's been a blast following you this year. We really appreciate it.
We got a long ways to go.
We got a long ways to go. We're not done yet. We said keep that roll going, and you did today.
Yeah, we did. Thanks, Phil.
All right, good job, buddy.
All right, now we've got Junior here to wrap up that last
was Father's Day, 76 wins. His dad had it was 76 races since he won. His dad had 76 wins, something like that. I don't believe in stuff like that, but that right there was just kind of weird in how it happened.
The way it went down, I mean, it's on Father's Day, you know, with Rick Hendrick. I mean, you know, you just look at all the scenario, and I was in the motorhome changing clothes, and I was like, dang, you know, that's if you're going to have, anything's going to be right for today, that was the right one.
I know it was a real special day for him because I think his whole racing career has been, you know, to make his dad excited and make his dad proud of him.
For it to come on Father's Day, it was almost like what you guys have done is okay, you know, and kind of that sign that, you know, everybody is trying to figure out, you know, would your dad be happy with what we've done, and would he be happy that you moved to Hendrick Motorsports, or would he be mad because you're still not a DEI? And, you know, if you just take in all the little signals and signs, I think it just said, hey, you know, you're doing a good job, proud of you, and I think it was kind of pretty moving.
How you think I feel on Father's Day is how I feel every day. Does that make sense? You know? So, like, when Father's Day comes around and you go, man, you know, you must be kind of a different day for you, being Father's Day. Well, that's how every day feels, you know? Father's Day doesn't make it any better or worse. But, you know, it is what it is. And anytime I win, I feel like I honor him. You know what I mean? The one thing about it being Father's Day, I was glad because I was able to be in Victory Lane and be the guy, be the winner, to say Happy Father's Day to all the other fathers out there. You know, that was fun for me. I really enjoyed that. I don't, if people can understand why that's important, I hope they can, but that was important to me, to be able to give that message.
Good job, TJ. Yeah, man.
We've talked so many times on the way home from the airport and stuff, you know, what happened, why we didn't win and stuff, you know. It was really fun. It was really awesome finally coming back and being able, you know, describe how we won, you know, and it was just like, man, we can't believe it.
Put it up there. Good job. You are the man. Thanks. Thanks to all of you. Y'all one hell of a team, man. Y'all built some good race cars.
But, you know, we came back here, and when Dale got home and went down to the saloon and had a few beers and hung out with, you know, all of our Nationwide guys came over, and a lot of the 88 Cup crew came, Tony Jr., my mom, and a lot of family members, so it was really cool.
Every victory brings its own celebration, and Dale celebrated Earnhardt style, gassing up the go-karts back home at Dirty Mo Acres and racing with his buds until the wee hours of the morning.
Gentlemen, do your cards, please. 9 guys in the first 2 heats, 8 guys in the next 2 heats were drawn with carts.
You'll have to put that in the show. Dale Jr. filming, Mooney driving.
Wide, I don't need to worry about that.
Let's crank it up a little bit here.
Actually, I'm gonna turn this way, get away from these wide. David Hovis is on the track right now, taking his time. He's getting ready to stop here in a second. He's gonna jump on. How was it? Good. We got everybody over here? Fresh. Got too many people. 1, 2, 3. Driver's meet. We're gonna have a chalk line on the corner down there. That'll be when you gas it. It wasn't 30 laps green. I thought it was like 10. Did you count cars? Felt like about 17.
That's
maybe.
the first step.
Coming up, Shifting Gears travels cross-country to wine country to ride Sonoma's road course. And for Junior, a chance to hang with his Hendrick Motorsports teammates.
Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Can you say freetriplescore.com 3 times fast?
FreeTripleScore.com, FreeTripleScore.com.
FreeTripleScore.com, FreeTripleScore.com. What's FreeTripleScore.com?
FreeTripleScore.com, FreeTripleScore.com. Why is FreeTripleScore.com the best place to go get my credit score?
FreeTripleScore.com gives you all 3 credit reports and scores from the 3 top bureaus. And best of all, they're free when you try Privacy Matters 1, 2, 3.
Really get all 3 for free?
Why do I need to check all 3 of my credit reports and scores?
One credit report doesn't tell you the whole story.
You could have good credit on 1 report. And on the other 2, you could have harmful information that could keep you from getting a loan, and in some cases, keep you from getting a job.
Not knowing your credit score could be a big mistake.
I didn't know my credit score could keep me from getting a job.
Lenders look at all 3 credit reports, shouldn't I?
3 really is better than 1.
Where can I get all 3?
Where can I get all 3?
Where can I get all 3? Log on to FreeTripleScore.com where you can get 3 for free.
FreeTripleScore.com.
Attention taxpayers, do you owe back taxes? Are you facing an IRS lien or wage garnishment? Then call the Rely On Group right now to immediately end wage garnishments. Remove tax liens and eliminate IRS and state tax penalties. Call the number on your screen now to find out how we can help you cut your tax liabilities by 50% or more.
Tax relief is just a phone call away. Call 800-962-0464. That's 800-962-0464.
Saturday, game days at the Cotton Bowl for the Red River rivalry. Longhorns versus Sooners. Colt McCoy talks about his hero.
I know he's up there watching.
And meet LSU's fierce D-line. ESPN College Game Day built by the Home Depot. Saturday at 10 a.m.
Welcome back to Shifting Gears, presented by the National Guard. The monkey was finally off his back. As he breathed a sigh of relief, so did his friends and family.
Go ahead and get that out of the way and get everybody kind of focusing on winning the championship and winning more races. That's going to be key. But today was an awesome day, and just fortunate to come away with it.
I'm certainly sure that there's relief that comes for him not to have to be asked that question at the next race, after he won. But he doesn't get all wound up in it, about not winning or whatever was not happening.
You know how pressure works. You win one at Daytona, so you got to win. So then you need your first points win, so you get that. So now the pressure is, okay, make the chase, win the championship. So it's new pressure, but that was one that we had to answer every single race. Every time you show up, okay, when are you going to win?
Team without a win, team with a win. Which one's got more pressure?
People put on a lot more pressure than was actually on us to win. We were going to eventually win. We'd run so good all year. It was just a matter of time when it was going to happen.
He's just had such a good year, and that they have run so well and been in position to do that several times. Charlotte, just different races where he was just dominant, and we didn't get to close the deal. So it was good to get that one out of the way.
I'd always wanted to win at that track because of the manufacturers being in the backyard, and those races are won by the upper echelon drivers in the sport.
It is a good place to race, and when you win there, it's quite a feat also.
It's one of those tracks that's been around a long time, and there's been a lot of great races there, and a lot of my heroes have run laps there. It was a great place to really surprise everybody. I was glad to get it over with, get the win, get the race won, move on. Go to the racetrack the next weekend as a winner.
Oh, it's really big. He kind of needed it to quiet everybody up, but he's running up front every weekend, so he's going to do it. He'll do it again.
Oh, it's amazing, man. Everybody's waiting to see how long it's going to take him, now that he's with Hendrick Motorsports.
Finally, all of Junior Nation was now breathing easy after the return to victory lane. With the win out of the way, it was time to shift focus to making the chase for the Cup. That means surviving the marathon of summer and minimizing the bumps in the road. For Junior, the Sonoma bump is always a big one.
I don't really run that well here, so I'm just hoping to get through the weekend.
It's a different kind of racing. There's there's not enough pit stops in it to even have a strategy. I mean, it's everybody goes to the last stop, and it's pretty much just try to stay on the asphalt. So to me, it's just 2 boring weekends.
I hate Sonoma. It's hot as hell. I don't like that racetrack. It's back and forth, and nothing entertaining to me.
No matter how much he loves or hates a track, the crazy schedule never changes. This time, it brings Dale together with his Hendrick teammates, a chance to laugh at a place where he usually doesn't.
What is your favorite racetrack that you race at all year long? What's the one that's the most favorite?
I got a dirt track that I built in my backyard. That's my favorite one to run on, because I can make it anything I want any day of the week. So we have a lot of fun with it.
Who's your favorite member of the team? Is what I want to know. Who your favorite driver is.
Now, that was the next question.
The one that wins the races, and you hadn't won anything lately.
Junior's distaste for Sonoma's twists and turns was obvious in his comments.
How many laps this race? Race 110 laps.
But not in the results, as he turned in a hard-fought 12th place finish.
Have you ever played Simon? It's sort of like that. There's all these steps, much like in Simon, that you must remember in a row. You can't leave one out. You leave one out, it screws the rest of the deal up, the rest of the lap. And that's not much fun, you know. Simon's pretty good when you're going like 5 or 6 moves, you know. But this is like when you're a kid and you're 8 years old or 10 or 12 and the damn Simon's like got this long do-do-do-do-do-do. That's when it started, all the fun goes out the window. Yeah, that's what it's like.
In the end, Wine Country produced solid finishes for the entire Hendrick team. Jimmy Johnson finished 15th, Jeff Gordon 3rd. But for teammate Casey Mears, even a 5th place effort couldn't change his fate.
You know, if we all had it figured out, then, you know, it'd be easy. But, you know, that's the hardest part about the sport, you know, and trying to find all that chemistry and trying to find it to make it work for everybody.
As much as you like to think that people are going to get a fair chance somewhere along the way, it doesn't always work out like that. And, you know, things don't always work out.
NASCAR is a business, and sometimes tough decisions have to be made. Sitting 24th in the point standings, the 5 team hadn't produced, so the boss was forced to make a change.
It's really exciting for me to be able to announce Mark Martin coming on board to run for the championship next year in the 5 car.
When I think about being a part of the, you know, the stoutest organization in NASCAR and being a member of the team with Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Jr. was just an opportunity that I absolutely could not, I just couldn't let it pass by. At this point in my life, I was very concerned about regretting that decision for the rest of my life.
I was pretty happy to see Mark come on board, and one of the top 10 drivers to ever be in the sport, I'm sure, maybe in the top 5 even.
I think it'll be good for Dale and be good for Jeff and Jimmy too, because he just brings, you know, how many 25, 30 years of racing, you know, experience there.
I'm sure that his experience will be helpful to them. Mark Martin is an incredible talent, and I think they all over there realize that. But that's, you look at the lineup and you talk about incredible talent, you've got 4 of the very best that's ever done this.
Martin simply can't retire, denied by his passion behind the wheel. For Dale Jr., it's a state of mind he totally understands.
I would like to race that long, for sure. I'd like to race until I'm 70. Whether my body or my mind can put up with it is another thing.
Coming up, we reveal Junior's home, an oasis where he can get away from it all. Shifting Gears is presented by the National Guard. Explore your path to honor. Visit www.1800GoGuard.com.
Aaron, Papa John's is here.
Everyone's excited for this year's biggest adventure.
the big taste of the XL Explorer Pizza. 30% bigger than our large. With your choice of any 3 toppings. A big deal at $13.99. Plus, get a $3 off coupon for Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull on DVD. Call or click papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
If you're in debt to the IRS for $10,000 or more, you don't have to take desperate measures to settle your account. All you have to do is put the right people to work for you, and that's as simple as calling this number. You'll speak to a tax expert who can help you negotiate a settlement that's significantly less than the actual amount you owe.
They saved my business.
I owed $30,000 and paid a fraction of it.
Call this number and get your case settled for less. Now, you only have a small window of time to settle, so act now.
This is Detective Tyler, and he back.
Detective Sam Tyler just woke up in 1973.
What's going on?
And he has no idea why. ABC's Life on Mars premieres tonight 10/9 Central after a new Grey's Anatomy on ABC.
To get someone's attention, speak softly and carry a big stick. It's the power of ageless tradition, the rush of competition that stirs the sports hero in all of us.
The main results from the sports advertising is, again, recognition, credibility. I'm on when a lot of people are watching. Everyone is watching the local sports teams, so when our ad comes up, I hear about it every day. Comcast has more than exceeded my expectations.
Call Comcast Spotlight today for sports marketing solutions that deliver results. Comcast Spotlight. No one puts sports together like we do.
This is weird. It's like a really obvious metaphor for Comcast high-speed internet, which is so much faster than DSL from the phone company. It's like a dream.
Let's do it again, Bill. Bill?
Carolyn! We still have DSL, right?
You had the bad dream again, didn't you?
Yeah, but this time she was blonde.
Go way faster than DSL with Comcast high-speed internet. It's Comcastic.
Shifting gears, presented by the National Guard.
Welcome to Dirty Mo Acres, Dale Jr.'s place. My name is Sonny. Let's take a look around. We take care of everything Dale Jr. has as far as property management goes. Whatever he's got, we pretty much take care of. And to my left over here is the golf course. We got a little 6-hole par 3 golf course that we designed. In this little town he come up with after watching 2020, a little special on Willie Nelson. We got the Silverado Saloon. That's our hangout. That's where everybody hangs out. And Junior wanted to put some old containers down here to keep the go-karts in. I'm like, nah, man, let's build an old 50s, 60s style gas station to keep them in. He said, that'd be cool. In designing the building, we tried to keep in mind that his favorite color was orange, and so we striped it up as orange and blue all over and mocked up the pumps. And yeah, this is a trail system here that we ride all them Polaris products on. And this is where we keep all of our cars as far as crashed cars from tracks. We got one up in the trees right here. We took a lull and picked it up and laid it up there in the trees, made it like it's been there a while. Yeah, we get down here with all the guys around the property and some other guys that come in from out of town or what have you, and just hang out. We got 4 campers throughout here. We can get away up here. Cell phones don't hardly work. They don't hardly work anywhere on the property. But it's nice to just be out here and not be bothered by traffic or people. He likes being at home. We enjoy having him around all the time. I hate to see him go away for weeks at a time, because being at a race car, he loves that stuff too, but he can't wait to get home.
People love Dale Jr. because he's not only a superstar, but an everyman as well. Despite his success, he remains just a down-to-earth guy, like the fans who love him. He loves his home, his family, and his pals. To his friends, he's still just Junior.
He's got probably a group of 15 or 20 guys that, all will come over and hang out, and it's cool because they don't really expect anything of him being Dale Jr.
Guess I've known Junior 12, 13 years, I don't know, 15. I don't know, we lived in Mooresville, everybody in Mooresville, so.
I used to go out to his old house. He'd have some get-togethers out there, and I'd go out with some friends that were friends with him.
I don't even know if I really look at him as like a boss.
It was so weird. The more famous it seemed like he got, the more grounded he got. And I don't know, he kind of took the road not taking. He didn't go out and live the limelight life. He liked to come home and just hang out with his buddies.
We got some trails on my property, and we ride our Polarises quite a bit.
That's what's pretty cool. I mean, he's got TJ. I mean, TJ was a guy he met online, and now he's down here hanging out with him every day.
Everyone thinks that, you know, you're always partying and out hanging, you know, always doing something like that, but that's just a very small percentage of the time. Most of the time, you know, we're doing stuff around here, just common stuff that everyone does.
Yeah, we got the go-karts, and I mean, he's got a couple different tracks out here.
We got one Razor that's been endoed. You know, we barrel rolled it a couple times, but now it just recently got endoed, so it's really got some pretty cool damage. It's my favorite, really because of the damage. I like the damage.
You watch every race?
Now I got Hot Pass. I'm starting to watch it a little bit more, but I'm not lying. Sometimes, you know, I might take a good nap in about the middle of it. But the endings are always exciting. It's been a lot more fun to watch this year than last year.
As summer heats up, so does Dale's season, as both a driver and a team owner.
We ran at Charlotte and we ran in the top 5, and that felt so good to have both cars up front and running well, and we just made such a great representation of ourselves as a company. And in July, at the Daytona race, we did the same thing.
On July 4th weekend, NASCAR returned to the sands of Daytona Beach. And when the Nationwide Series raced on July 4th, Dale had more to celebrate than just America's birthday.
It feels good, you know, to show up and be one of the stronger teams in the sport. It's tough being in the Nationwide Series. It's expensive. And with everything we put into it, these are the kind of results I was looking for.
He finished 3rd under the Daytona lights, and Brad Keselowski followed in 5th.
Daytona means so much to me. One of the first races I went to as a kid, and you know, Dale's own history there. To get to race with him means a lot. I just learned so much watching him at those plate tracks. He's so good at it, and you know, I try to match what he does, and you know, every time I try to match him, he'll bring out some new move and totally school me.
In Saturday night's Sprint Cup race, the '88 Chevy hit the track with a very special paint scheme.
Hand painted. That's hard to believe. Every little thing on there was hand painted as far as the colors and the digital camo. It took guys 2 days to do it.
Dale Jr.'s ride didn't just look great, it ran great.
Yeah, I had one of the best cars at the Daytona July race, and I don't know, midway through the race, I felt, of course, yeah, I mean, a thought come across my mind that I had a great shot to win. If I did everything right, I could win the race. And, you know, I tried.
But as he learned so many times early in the season, the best car doesn't always win the race.
And you hear the fans. Earnhardt leads at Daytona.
Junior led 9 different times at Daytona, but the '88 got shuffled back during a confusing final chapter of wrecked cars and yellow flags.
We kind of had a problem there with about 25 to go where we got shuffled back and just couldn't make it back up through there.
At the top 8 real bad. Might just throw up there and try to make it happen.
That's it, babe, right here. That's it. Green, white checker. That's it. Oh, okay, I didn't know.
It was just so busy, and it was like it zipped through. You know, it was like zip, 15 laps, over.
I mean, there was a lot of cautions, a lot of cars got tore up, so we were probably just thankful that we didn't tear up the car no worse than we did.
I wish I could have done a better job for y'all. Y'all had a real good car, but this car, that kind of right there, man, that ain't racing. That's just trying not to get killed.
Team built a car that was the best car there. So I feel like I let them down a little bit to finish 8th, but we led a lot of laps. I made some really, really great moves that I was really proud of. Even when I made them, I was like, yeah, you know.
That's our job, is we want to have the best car every week, and you know, give him that opportunity to win. You know, that's the biggest thing. As long as we keep doing that, he'll make it happen.
When Shifting Gears returns for this episode's final lap, Dale reflects on this, the most important season of his career, his feelings on this phase of his career, his life, and where he sees 2008 headed.
If you don't have health insurance, you're not alone. There are over 47 million Americans without coverage today. And with health insurance premiums on the rise, where do you go to sort it out? At eHealth.com, we've helped hundreds of thousands of Americans find affordable health coverage. If you or someone you know needs help, visit us today at eHealth.com.
I got $583 from cashforgold.com. All I did was look through my drawer full of jewelry that I never wear.
Turn your unwanted or broken jewelry, gold, silver, platinum, rings, chains, and bracelets into cold hard cash from cashforgold.com.
I had no idea my gold jewelry was worth so much money.
With gold, silver, and platinum at their highest value in decades, cashforgold.com is able to give you top dollar for your unwanted jewelry. And because we own our refinery, we can cut out the middleman, which means more cash in your pocket.
I sent in my diamond wedding band from my first marriage and got money the very next day.
Just call the number below and ask for your free, prepaid, insured refiner's return pack. Fill the envelope with your unwanted or broken gold, silver, and platinum jewelry and mail it to our processing center. A safe, reliable transaction with satisfaction guaranteed.
Call 1-800-970-6985. Call now.
B is for the beast of the Southeast. So you'd best buckle up, because the balance of power in the chase for the Sprint Cup will go back and forth until the bitter end. This week, with points leader Jimmy Johnson bearing down, chase drivers look to bounce back after the big one in Bama. What else could B be but the beast of the Southeast? The Bank of America 500 at Charlotte, Saturday night at 7 Eastern on ABC.
Welcome back to Shifting Gears, presented by the National Guard.
What a way to start our deal, baby.
This is Dale Jr.'s third victory in a Gatorade duel.
He's got him. I believe he's got him. Oh, he turned it.
No!
Oh, he turned it.
76 races since he last went to victory lane, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the winner at Michigan.
It's late July. The season's second half has begun. Time for Dale Earnhardt Jr. to sit back, reflect, and then get geared up for the future.
I wouldn't want to go through all that stuff again. It was tough. I mean, it was a long, long road, and it stressed and taxed a lot of people that I care about, so I wouldn't want to put everybody through that again.
Yeah, I think there was people worried about, like, how we'd fit in, and I think we're fitting in perfect. I mean, I think that there's a lot of people that was kind of like skeptical of what we were, and now that we're here, I think there's a lot of people that are pretty happy that we're here.
I would love to be the guy that gives Dale Earnhardt Jr. his first championship. I'd love to be a part of that. So that's a goal of mine, and I don't want to let him down. I don't want to let his fans down. I want to let our organization down, and so far, so good.
He does a good job of making you proud to be there. And he motivates you to get off your butt and do work, and you know, it's good work for him. It's good. It's healthy.
I want to get in a chase and battle to the end. If we get beat, I want to get beat, you know, swinging.
He has all those ingredients together in himself and in his team, and you know, he's in the top 5 of the guys that are going to do it, I'm sure.
There's no doubt he has what it takes to be the champion, and I think he's showing that right now. Does it happen this year? Good chance. I think that his consistency has put him in a position, and they're getting themselves positioned for the chase. But absolutely, he made the move to win championship, and that's what he's going to do. And I don't think that it's going to be one. I think it's going to be multiple.
It's certainly spelling success right now, and obviously to make the chase, you know, that looks like that'll happen if nothing crazy happens. You know, if he could pull off the championship, Brad could pull off the championship, I mean, it'd just be a crazy year.
I would have done some things differently on the racetrack, but hell, I mean, there ain't a race I've ever run that I haven't, you know, wished I'd have done something different, even the ones I won.
In the end, Junior has but one regret.
I would have there was one deal, I gave my sister a raise. I should have done that sooner. She deserved it. I don't know, some things fall through the cracks, and that was one of them, so I'm sorry, Kelly.
He told me I was probably worth, you know, 4 or 5 times what I was making, and it would cost him that much to replace me, but he doubled my salary. I said, well, why don't I get 4 times as much? So he said, well, it'll come. So
you accept his apology?
I accept his apology, yeah.
I didn't think we would be sitting second in points. I didn't think we would be as consistent as we've been. And I've been surprised by how happy I am, how satisfied I am, content with how everything's going. I couldn't be happier about my team. I got no question marks or wants within my job, you know. So it's just really, I guess the only question mark really is how's the season going to end? You know, that's really all there is to it, which is great. That's the only thing we got to sort out. Then fine. So here's to you know, here's to giving it one hell of an effort. We got a good opportunity and we ain't wasted it yet. So.
In everyone's life, destiny is determined by a precious few decisions. Then you live with the consequences, good or bad. For Dale, the good has far outweighed the bad.
I'd like to race till I'm 70.